What's up, guys? Studfit here for episode 23 of Kart Talk. I have an exciting group here. In fact, we have one member that will join here in a little bit, so it'll be a nice surprise, and then a little surprise later, too. But I am so excited. We are here Memorial Day weekend and enjoying the beginning of our weekend here in the United States with this episode of Kart Talk with some good friends of mine. So let's get into them. Some familiar faces that you might know, including Geeves, I think, for episode 14 and a half,
Yeah,
ready to go here. Welcome, man. Always good to have you.
I've become a frequent flyer on your on your ship here. So, hello and thank you for having me.
Yeah, I was gonna say those points are accruing. I can't tell you what you're gonna get in return, but happy to have you, man. We also got Draco655. He has his own YouTube channel. He's been featured on Kart Talk once before. He had episode 1 of the inventory inspection. Welcome, Draco. How's it going, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks, Studfit, again to inviting me. That was quite a surprise, but happy to be back and meeting new people.
Yeah, so we had the capsule contest where we had to vote on which skills the new drivers would have. Draco won that. He could do an inventory inspection, which he already won. So he's like, you know what? I'll come back on Kart Talk. I had so much fun last time. I'll join again. So he is here because of a contest. And then I always like to bring in just some new faces just to get you guys exposed to some new voices in the community. That's one of the cool things about having this platform is bringing people alongside me and featuring some other people. And honestly, it's always fun to have like some new guests and get to learn about them. It's one of my favorite parts about having this channel. So first we'll introduce Robert 1202. Welcome, buddy. How's it going?
Hey man, what's up? It's going well. I got into Mario Kart Tour on day one, but the funny thing is I didn't even know that it was coming out. I was on Snapchat and I saw a bunch of my friends posting screenshots of it and I was like, oh, what's this? So I downloaded it and now here I am. But yeah, if you're on the subreddit Discord, you'll probably see me around there a lot.
Nice. Yeah, the subreddit's it's an interesting beast. So thanks for
Yeah,
trying to
to say
control
the
the
least.
beast and give it a collar. And then we also have StanLOONA. What's up, man? How's it going?
Nice.
Hey, Studfit, thanks for the invite. Glad to be here. I actually just ate dinner, so I'm ready to sit down and talk Mario Kart.
Yeah, your Central Zone. Where are you calling from, and how did you get introduced to the game?
No, yeah, so I'm calling from Texas, specifically
Yo,
Houston,
let's
so
go.
Central Time.
Ooh,
I think Robert, you're also there, right? I think.
nice.
Yes, sir.
And then Mario Kart. Dang, I got into Mario Kart because of my friends. We right when the pandemic started, you can say I'm a pandemic player. We would get on FaceTime and just be talking and get on multiplayer. And we would just be talking all the time, playing Mario Kart multiplayer. And then eventually I really got into the meta and eventually joined ER now. So it's been a pretty smooth journey. And I hate to say it, but my friends fell off from Mario Kart, but here I am. I'm still standing
Yeah, man.
Luna.
Great.
Nice,
Oh,
man.
that's
No.
awesome. Nice.
Yeah, you always have so much positivity, and I'm excited to have you here, man. I mean, it's like some of these new ER guys. It's like a breath of fresh air. Just like it's everyone's happy, everyone's positive. It's actually been awesome to have you in. So excited to have you here. And like I said, we have a jam packed episode. We have a lot going on. We got this Doctorfest, a lot of things going on. But before we get to that, we'll get into an icebreaker. We'll start with you, StanLOONA. But before we do, I do have some some explaining to do. I was it's Memorial Day weekend. I was at the pool all day, so I'm like burnt and like my hair's all crazy. So I threw on the cap and I have a beverage here, just relaxing. This is gonna be like just relaxing and chill for me. So don't mind. I might go off the rails a little bit, but just wanted to give you a heads up. We're going to have an awesome jam-packed episode. And like I mentioned, we have a 6-member hopefully joining us here now in probably about 5 or 6 minutes. So, StanLOONA, the icebreaker is, what team did you choose, Peach or Bowser? And then how confident are you that your team is going to win?
Yeah, so I chose Team Bowser. I'm definitely more of a minions, enemies type of person. Boo is my go-to in Mario Party and stuff. Am I confident that Bowser might win? I'm feeling optimistic. It always seems to flip up, one team, the other will win this time. But I'm feeling good. Even then, if we lose, it's only 5 rubies at this point. Based on how generous the game has been lately, I'm okay with opting out of the 5 rubies. And even then, the new badge, it's not that much of a difference to me. But I'm curious to see if anybody is like a different team.
Yeah, Robert, you Team Bowser? Or do you?
I am. Yeah, I'm also on Team Bowser. I chose Team Bowser because I made a deal with my buddy MyFlame, and now I'm on it. So,
Oh, I gotta hear about this deal. What happened?
well, oddly enough, it was a few weeks ago, I guess before this tour started, and I was grinding ranked. I was really like all in trying to get this Gold Mii Suit, and like I did not want to miss tearing up even 1 week. And I had a really tough week. I think it might have been the week where I had God mode in my ranked, and I was struggling bad. I was in 4th place by like maybe not even 1,000, but I was having such a hard time increasing. I was like 10+ hours on Cheap Island T. And I told him, I was like, you know what? If I manage to squeeze out top 3, I will choose Team Bowser for you. And with like a few hours left, I somehow managed to do it. So that's why I'm on Team Bowser now. But
Wow.
I don't really know if they're gonna win. It seems even with support bonus, they're having a hard time catching up. So I feel like if they do pull ahead and Team Peach gets 1 day of support bonus, it's gonna just be like back in the gutter. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, well, we got 2 Team Bowsers. Draco, I have a sneaking suspicion which team you're on.
I'm on Team Bowser, obviously, right? No, I'm kidding. I cannot betray my Mushroom Legacy.
Mushroom Legacy.
I only need to play with Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina. How I can choose Bowser when just Rosalina's there? I have to go for my Captain T Peach. There's no way I'm gonna choose other ways. Winning, I already knew from the start I was already gonna win. But no, it's just I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean I'm surprised we actually win for real.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Draco is he has a very unique strategy where he only uses 1 of 3 drivers and their alts, Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina. That's it. And so obviously Team Peach makes a lot of sense for you to make that decision. But you've so far been hitting 1 million with just using those drivers, which is a lot
2
of
times in a row.
non-Robux.
2 times in a row. Right now I'm like at 1,055,000. So that's already increased by 50,000.
Do you have all top shelf drivers this tour? I haven't really checked.
Now I did added like Mii Suit neutral, and I feel neutral like the coin blocks one and probably the silver and bronze Mii, because for me they are not like Yoshi or just Birdo type, so they're just neutral. So this way I have technically all the top shelf. I don't running mid shelf alone.
So I'm glad you got the coin, the question mark box.
Yeah, I got it, and it saved me for 2
There's a couple of people that don't have that yet.
Yeah. So that would be me. I don't mind getting into that story now, or before we get into a couple other intros. Welcome as connecting to audio. We have the Z. What's up, FrenZgrind?
Oh my God! Really?
I had to.
Nice.
FrenZgrind, we have ER StanLOONA with us and Robert 1202.
Hey.
In addition to Draco and Geeves. How's it going? FrenZgrind?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm glad I was able to squeeze this in last minute. I saw my homie Geeves was going on, so I had no choice. No choice.
He just told me that he wasn't going to be on, too.
I lied. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, that's I guess when you hear that your friends are on, you make an effort. No, I mean it's Memorial Weekend. A lot of us have plans, and I think ultimately Z was he made some changes. He's on now, and so the rest is history. I mean, ultimately, so far we've just gone through introductions. In fact, Geeves, why don't you just let FrenZgrind know what the icebreaker is by answering your own question. What team did you choose, Peach or Bowser, and how confident do you feel that your team's going to win?
Geeves, tell me about yourself. I don't know anything about you.
I chose Bowser. I usually like just flip a coin, basically. These I don't really care for these tours. They're kind of they're kind of annoying. But recently, like, my kid's been playing, little Geeves, and so I asked him what he's doing, so I'm just going with him, and he's going with the green. The 5 rubies really the 5 rubies doesn't really mean a lot to me, because
every ruby counts, Geeves.
I wailed a lot this tour.
A pack for two, good.
The extra packs too were so tempting.
The extra packs and then some because of the special pipes. It was, some of it was kind of humiliating because like they were just the realest, ugliest pipe pulls, and I'm just get me some more. I'm not gonna stop until that gold Koopa gets to 8. That's how bad it was.
Did you get them to 8?
Got to 8, and then I got Peach Vacation up to 7, one away from 8, and then I got it in my shop. One of my kids isn't going to college, so.
Now, which one is going to be the tough decision?
I'm gonna let him flip a coin, and we'll go from there.
Man, it's a good thing I only have one child.
Yeah, yeah,
that is
but
true.
yeah, it's Bowser all the way. It's you know, and you know, I can segue it to the next tour. It's that's going to be a major that's going to be a major downer tour. I'm going to save. I have very low expectations for the next tour, but we can talk about that later.
We'll get to that. Yeah. We'll definitely get to that because.
But FrenZgrind, I'm glad you're here, man. It means a lot that you're here. You're a buddy of mine. So
please, you're my homie. I had to be on. You told me you weren't going to be on next tour. I had to jump. I had to figure it out.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Geeves is here. I know he went through a little hiatus where he was taking a break from the YouTubes, but we're glad he's back. And FrenZgrind just actually moved up to our super stud tier. And when I heard, I was like, "Do we have to range around your schedule?" He's like, "Well, the only time I'm available is just the one time that I'm at an event." So like, I'm glad this all worked out. FrenZgrind, what team are you on, and how confident you feel that your team's going to pull out the victory?
I'm on Team Bowser because Bowser is one of my favorites besides DK. So it was a no-brainer for me. Whether he's going to win, I don't know. He's up now. I feel like he's more popular than Peach, so I think last day he'll pull it out. But I don't really care about that. I don't care about the extra couple of rubies and the coins. I just have fun with the game. You know, I go with my favorite character, and I just roll with it. You know, the versus tours doesn't make a difference to me.
Yeah, you know, it's the versus tours haven't been as big of a deal when it comes to the rewards, and I think that might change. Maybe they'll do something in the future, but yeah, I'm stressing. I'm on Team Bowser myself, and when I see the scores, like it doesn't make me feel good that we're gonna win, and which is sad because I'm like, dude, who doesn't? I mean, no offense to Peach, I think Peach is awesome, and I love Pink.
She is.
She is. No, she really is. No, and I love Pink. So this is just to let you know, this is the hat I'm wearing. It's the soccer team for in Miami, and just because I like it because it's pink. I love pink. Pink is legitimately my favorite color. But Bowser's awesome. I'm so surprised that Bowser's just getting like his butt whipped. It seems like every morning, but it is what it is. So we'll move into the question about the Peach Tour. Have you enjoyed this versus tour more than past versus tour or our versus tours, automatic filler tours? What do you think about this versus tour? And then has the tokens and trying to get the token pipe, has that changed your opinion on it?
I mean, if they're going to have this green token pipe, this has made the green token pipe and collecting tokens so easy. I mean, I was grinding the last couple of tours like my life was on the line, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So this was so easy. I finished it in like 3 days.
Not even a challenge. I think they need
not even a challenge.
Too easy?
Too easy, yeah.
Yeah, I was done in like 3 days myself.
2 days I was done.
Wow, I wasn't done 2 days. But...
So I think I've heard some people say like they wish it was like a happy medium, like somewhere between like the ones on the track and between there and like, do you find like is there a way that's like just challenging enough that it's going to take, I don't know, 7 or 8 days, or is that, have they already found that and that's finding it on the track?
I think 7 or 8 days. I think well, I mean, you have to look at who's playing too. Like my kid, I don't even know if my kid could even complete the thing because he doesn't have a lot of coin box drivers. So that's always going to be a challenge. But so if you're looking at your overall player market, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is good, but I think in this respect, you want to serve the people who play the game more, invest in the game more with this. So if it could go like 7, 8 days, 9 days, that'd be good. But like if you're hearing people getting it done, like I saw, I think I think my gamer Amy had it done in a day.
Yeah,
I mean,
first day, yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, good for her. That's great. But like, if someone can get it done in a day, that's too easy.
I think is the I think what for me, like I appreciate more this tour for the token grind was actually the bonus, because every time you do a race, if you do a well score, you're gonna get like massive amount of token, which is make it more easy
exactly.
than usual.
Yeah.
But if it was like more challenging, I'd probably like hate it and doing the crushing the opponent, because that's just like super long and it's kind of boring, but it take like a long time to do it.
Yeah, for the crashing one, I'd like to see them raise the number of tokens per hit. It's like 2 per hit, which isn't really that good, I don't think, unless you get like a giant banana frenzy, then you can get a pretty decent run. But other than that, I really don't have great results.
Yeah, I think the more tokens they give you for giant banana frenzies, I'm all about that. I'm a big giant banana fan. All right, yeah, no, now because these tokens don't run out though, that's kind of different, right? Because we were wanting tokens for those first 2 or 3 days, and then all of a sudden like they're kind of annoying. Like I did a run this morning with Mario Tuxedo off of Royal Raceway. I was like, man, this is so so nice to have all these red coins back again. I don't know. Does that change your opinion of kind of the tokens and kind of how you're seeing them?
I actually had the opposite experience when I was grinding Koopa Cape in week 1, because for a little while I was using Party Time Pauline, and she is on Team Peach, so I wasn't getting tokens, and the spread when I would get a box in that first item set was just like awful for me. But then when I would switch to Gold Yoshi and he's got the tokens, they're like going more straight in front of me, and I was getting way better coin boxes out of that. So I guess it's kind of track dependent, but it's gone both ways for me.
Yeah, do you think the spray is different with the tokens versus non-tokens?
I do think tokens have a different spread.
That's
I
interesting.
think the tokens are bigger.
Yeah,
You can get more hits with them.
They're a hair bigger. Sure. That is true. And so like when we're thinking about hitbox and stuff, that's always positive. But I tend to agree as well. Is it does kind of like it kind of more of a smaller or not as wide of a range of where they're going versus, you know, like the ones that do not have tokens are kind of just flailing everywhere. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's you always wonder, like, is my own one instance or my own little experience, is it kind of skewing my like what's happening, because it's like hard to compare it side by side. Maybe someone like, you know, I'm trying to think of some of the other YouTube guys that are doing those kind of videos. Like it'd be kind of see it like a side by side. It'd be kind of fun to see.
But for me, I want to mention, like, for me, this tour was actually more fun, I think, with the token, because I was doing for Team Peach. And then at the same time, I was working on my player level. I think I'm almost done with every single track. And I did like 7 level this tour. So I would just keep grinding. And the token was flying so fast. And that was more enjoyable, I think, for me.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think we just mentioned Koopa Cape. Curious what your thoughts are on Koopa Cape compared to all the other awesome tracks that we've seen so far this year. I loved it right off the bat. It was, again, first time exposed to it really in a Mario Kart setting. I think right off the bat I gave it a 9 out of 10, and I'd probably give it still somewhere in the 8 range. Anyone hate it?
It's such a fun track. It's such a fun track.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
You like it?
What?
Jeeves, are we gonna say you hate it?
Jeeves, who's gonna say
I'm not a fan of it.
doo-doo?
Don't be negative, Jeeves. Don't be negative.
Wait, why? I want to hear why.
Don't be that guy.
It's the waterfall. What do you not
I don't like the waterfall.
The water physics is really scary.
Yeah, the reverse is just horrible. I hate the reverse. And I'm using the level 8 Pink Shy Guy Ninja 1400. I still hate it.
Man.
Jeeves, I had to agree with you. The Koopa Cape R is like the equivalent of like Wario Shipyard R.
Yeah,
like, it had a Meowser and it was the
It's
worst.
so confusing. I mean, how are you going? I don't. The physics of it is just atrocious. I mean, the other ones they're fine. I wouldn't give them like an 8 or a 9. I would put it on like a 6 or a 7 level. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I haven't worked on them as much, because I just don't find them fun. But I don't know. I just can't get into it. I liked it on the Wii. That's the thing. It was really weird. Like I was looking forward to it. It's like, oh, this was a lot of fun on the Wii. But
I think the layout is so fun, but like what really takes it to the next level for a lot of people, I feel, is like there's so many like great like plus skills drivers on that on all the tracks.
I don't
like Coinbox.
I don't get. I mean, you know what I was looking for, because like on the Wii, it had like those spinning like a pinwheel thing.
Yeah, in the water.
Like that was the reason why I like that track. And I don't get like the half pipe section, so I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. I don't like any of the half pipe sections because I always lose position, and you know, I remember I'm grinding with God. It was like, oh, you could do 2 half pipes. I'm like, yeah, but then I'm gonna fall to 7th, dude. I mean, you know.
I think tracks that have pipes are only like really worth it with the coin box, because with the boomerang, sorry, because like you're able to get all those coins like Joshi R,
That was fun.
Koopa Cape, but
Right.
like coin box with a half pipe is the worst because you do lose position and like.
I mean, they're good points though. I mean, those
special
half
trick?
pipes- yeah, the special trick. What? It's a lot of points. So, but then I always lose position, and then I don't get. Yeah, I'm done complaining.
Extra trick to make it.
You're not done. We have a whole episode ahead of us. There'll be plenty more
I'm
complaining.
fired up,
for you.
boys. I'm fired
Drink
up.
up, drink up, dude, drink up.
Robert, what do you think? How does Koopa Cape stack up?
I enjoy it. It kind of reminded me a bit of Rock Mountain when I first saw it, because this is also my first real experience with it.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it pretty well. I do agree that the bots tend to be a bit of a problem if you don't grind for badgeless ones. But I enjoy it. I'd give it a 7 or 8 personally.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't mind R just because of Pink Shy Guy Ninja, and like when I started the game, just like the first 2 days of the tour, I just did the R version and just trying to grind EXP, and then because Shy Guy Ninja was on Team Bowser, I was just trying to collect tokens at the time, and I think it was probably my most fun part of the whole tour, was just grinding R with Pink Shy Guy Ninja and just getting the giant bananas. I don't know, I still am such a huge fan of giant bananas. It's so much fun. And then you know what? I probably spent a little too much time on the EXP because I ended up losing ranked the first week of this tour. Which I think you alluded to earlier, Geeves. Yeah, so I don't have the question mark block from week 1, which definitely stinks. But I had a lot of stuff going on personally here and for work, so I was unable to grind as much as I wanted to for that. And so I'm going all in on trying to get to 170K for this week 2. I think I got like a 20K lead, so I feel pretty confident I'll get it. But I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are with this Gold Mii Suit and this new question mark block, kind of both being accessed at the same time, but both parts of the community probably seeing them a little differently. These whales having, going all in. I know many of us took, him to level 8, triple uncapped, but then there were so many, probably the majority of the community, not even having access to this Gold Mii Suit, but having the question mark suit. So what do you think about them? Is this kind of shaking things up? Do you have both? And how crazy has ranked been these past 2 weeks?
I don't have both, and I'll share my story actually with my rank. Is I actually tiered down, and I don't think I've ever tiered down in my life. I've lost. I've gotten second a lot. I've gotten third, a few times, but I've never tiered down. And like I tiered down. I felt I was 6th. I didn't have a chance.
Oh my.
Yeah. And
what happened? What's the breakdown?
I mean, it was a combination of things, man. I mean, it was life. I mean, I was telling people, everyone's like, "What happened?" I could have done a lot more. Like they see my loadout. It's like, well, what happened? It's like, well, I had life. I had work. I have a family. It's part of This is an example, and I want to tell everyone here, it happens. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, but like we all have our priorities, and I didn't have the time, and I was like, okay, I hope I get it this time. I think I'll be good. I mean, I looked at my competition, and I have one person that's at tier 78, and everyone else is tier 75 or below.
Okay.
And which means none of them have the Gold Mii Suit. So, but then I also found that like I have a friend that I'm in his rank, so I'm taking it easy a little bit, but I've still got a decent lead, so I'm confident I'll get it. But going back to the question of the Mii suits, I don't plan on investing in the question mark block one right off the bat. It doesn't really do much for me. I would rather go in on the suit that's harder to get. So he is actually 7 double capped.
Okay.
Ooh.
The Gold Mii Suit, right?
Gold Mii Suit, yes.
Yep. And question mark blockhead, cheese head, SpongeBob.
I don't have
head.
it yet. I don't have it yet.
You don't have it at
There's
all.
no package plans here.
Wow. All
And
right.
he'll, you know, I think he'll be in a. I think he'll be able to buy it someday down the road.
He's
So,
coming back to the shop.
Yeah, for sure.
I think because of what Geeves just said, like investing heavily into like the Gold Mii Suit, like I went all in on week 1. Like I took Volam to level 6 and took Gold Sheet to like level 7 because I was like, everybody's gonna be going in on this Mii Suit. And based on my luck that I've been having with rank lately, like I'm gonna be paired with somebody who has a level 7, level 8, triple cap, Gold Mii Suit. So I was like, I'm gonna zag while everybody is zigging because I'm gonna go ahead and like invest in this Volam and Goshi now and get this gold this coin head SpongeBob cheese head and not risk the chance of like not getting him the second week because like everybody I just know, and I did get paired with somebody who's like in first place and I'm in second now, so I'm like, if anything, I'm really glad I got it the first week because second week is like not my friend at all this week for rank.
and people, I know people are gonna call me out on it because 2 weeks ago I was on here and everyone else, what are you gonna do with it? And I said, you remember what I said? I said, I'm going to I'd rather have an even, spread out my level, get more level 8s of the others, have an even thing. I did the opposite. And I will call myself out.
Things have changed.
Yes. Well, and that was the thing. I don't know. I mean, Stanler pressured me. He didn't pressure me.
Don't let Stanler pressure you.
ER Dad's like, it's the best player in the game. Why aren't you doing it? And I can hear ER Dad saying it in his Canadian accent. I'm like,
whispering it, yeah.
What?
Like they're just whispering those sweet nothings about the Gold Mii Suit.
Right. Yeah. And then what sealed the deal for me was that it was in ranked. I did not think Nintendo was gonna do that. I honestly didn't. And then I see him in ranked, like, okay.
It won't be his last time he's in ranked either.
No.
The guy's getting some good coverage.
That was the thing. But yeah, so.
But yeah, I mean, for me,
something
Draco.
I mean,
let's hear from Draco because I'm sure you're probably in more of a different situation than some.
Yeah, my situation is different. I cannot have access at any point for now with this Golden Mii Suit. So for me, it's out of the gate already. I'm in tier 53, so for me, my rank is a bit tougher. But I did manage to get the Blockhead or T-Cheese Head. But yeah, I mean, I did get it, and I don't even think I'm going to invest on it at any cost yet because my princesses need more attention than this one. So Volandam for me, I want to make her triple cap and level 7 next to her, but that's my special me. But yeah, I mean, I would not invest into this one, but in my head, I was like, okay, this Blockhead gave me 2 more coverage in top shed, which I never had before. So for me, it's a win. So I'm going to run with the level 1, but at least I have it. I'm sorry for people who don't have it yet. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just a total story. So
I would ask, like, are you happy that Nintendo put in another Coinbox Mii Suit for, people? I mean, do you feel like that was a nice gesture by them? I mean, I'm just curious.
I think that's fair to put in rank.
I do too.
Because already the Gold Mii Suit is already hard to obtain. So I think that's fair to giving that like a premium access to people or work hard to get it in rank. And after that will be more casual and everybody can buy it. So I think that's fair in their part to doing it. And they expect probably you to spend rubies into those pipe or doctor, which I did get my Dr. Peach to 6. But yeah, I mean, to have access to like, I don't know, like to get the new drivers and just try to compete in rank. So I think that's fair, but I know a lot of people don't even have access to tier 50 yet. So it's fair, but for me, like I have other usage of this one. So
I think hearing that from, people like you is very important to the community because, we like to it's good to hear where everyone, no matter what tier they are on, just to hear everyone's outlook on it. So
because but yeah, I mean, for me, like if it was like coin box or not, I don't really mind about the skill. I go for what I like in the game, which is like the non-obscure skill like capsule. I enjoy capsule. I really do. It's really fun. It's almost like Super Bill. It's underrated. It should give, I think, more attention, and it's just fun to use. I don't want to just play meta drivers and just coin box and be worried about the rest. It's just, in my mind, just a game, and I want to compete with you, Geeves, and everybody without using those just coin box. And that's what I'm gonna try to prove in rank. And like you can use like Drybone, this Bowser Castle or Santa Bowser, but I'm using like level 2 like Rosalina just to have fun and try to push myself further and further. And that's I think the best way to play the game.
Absolutely, I really applaud you for that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
I think that's
you
awesome.
can be successful in the game with using these lower items that aren't top 5 skill, man. You're really gonna have some success in the game, because when you actually pick it up and you start using the Lucky 7 coin box more often, you're gonna be good to go. So
yeah,
it really is a good thing.
For sure. And honestly, the Voldendom, I'm so jealous. Like I love because I have to prioritize my coin box, but like I would love, there's nothing more that I would just love to just get in on that action and just, have some fun.
Do it now.
Do it.
He's great.
That was my first boomerang drivers I can actually use for real. So for me, that was like, that's
She's
so
great.
amazing. She's great. I love boomboxing now. I did
Yeah,
it like
it's
one
fun
time.
until you have like 3 in ranked, 3 tracks with a boombox,
Yes.
and then you just get
That's
burnt
fine.
out. Because I have a lot of fun with it until they kind of shove it down your throat, and then it gets a little burnt out. I know, Robert, you're shaking your head. You feel the same way?
Yeah, no, I totally feel the same way. Last tour, I think I was boomboxing over the 2 weeks. I want to say maybe on at least 4 of the 6. And I was just like so done with it. Like when it was over, like it's frustrating sometimes and it takes a while, but I had to, because as I kind of hinted at earlier, tiers 75 through 80 has just been like a bloodbath for me. I got the Gold Mii Suit, but it was tough. I had to spend everything I had to get it, so I don't even have anything left over to invest in it. But I'm trying to save back up, and I don't have the block suit either because I had a top 10 player in my ranked last week. But this week I look like I'm in pretty good shape, so I think I'm going to get it.
Yeah, shout out to, I know, MKD Ben mentioned on our server he had like a top 10 player last week and then a top 10 player this week, and it is ranked, and it already looks very very gloom for him. I know like Raker in the ER server was talking about he thinks that having the question block suit is just for the number 1 position. Like, why not have the top 3 have that block suit? So you see everyone, like you mentioned, it's a bloodbath out there. Everyone is putting every ticket, like literally everything's on the line. And then if you see somebody doesn't have it yet, like you just know like they're gonna be going all out, and everyone's going all out all at the same time. It's just pure chaos. So I
saw someone currently has it at level 1 triple cap. He's ready
For the memes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, but I've seen it.
ready.
I
to
can
go.
see Nintendo though. I can see Nintendo giving that Cheesehead coin box 1 or 2 exclusive tracks and a rank coming up, so like people invest in it. But so far, it's not looking that great. It's more like a bragging right now, but Nintendo's gonna tease people into definitely investing in it. I feel it in me.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think having it as a ranked word, that's cool. Like, so the free to play players, like they could get, assuming that they're at the right tier and like they win ranked. Like you have a coin box driver that you don't have to put any rubies into, you don't have to put any coins into, and so from like that perspective, it's really really cool. Now, like, and then you have all the hype of like everyone going for it. But at the end of the day, like those types of coin box drivers that aren't gold, silver, bronze, they don't get quite the same like number of tracks. They don't get quite the same buff. So yeah, part of like that is just it is kind of like a badge or something like that. There might be 1 or 2 tracks that you have. Now here's the thing is that you do have the base points. So the base points are going to make the 8 tracks it has, or 10 tracks one day or whatever it might be, like those are going to be 10 great tracks. It doesn't seem like to be overlapping at all with the Gold Mii Suit either. Something to think about there. So we're in the middle of this Doctorfest. I kind of put out a strange little question here. I'd love to hear your opinion. Is there anything introduced during this Doctorfest? So this tour, last tour, when you think about the Coconut Mall, etc. Do you think there's anything that impacts the game enough that we'll look back and say, wow, it's hard to notice at the time, but like that was a big deal? Or is this Doctorfest pretty forgettable? I'm thinking like Prop Kart or like some of the Green Sprout. Shout out to the GSGs. Is there anything of the Doctorfest that we'll look back and be like, hey, these capsule carts, these were worth having, or this Wicked Topaz, or the Magnifying Glass, or Flybrary Book? Like if you had to put like your sticker of approval, like this is going to be the thing that comes out of this tour to be, these 2 tours to be the most successful item. Like what's coming out of this tour other than these Mii gold stuff going on? Like, is there anything else Doctor related that's going to be valuable?
I think they would be, for my take, I think they would be super valuable, like the Super Leaf, because already Super Leaf have amazing track like Tanookis one. I think they're going to be both extremely valuable. And for me, I think the most memorable for those 2 tours would be probably the track, because Nintendo, they are in fire and releasing some good tracks and not like boring track like Vanilla Lake one, but they're just so fun. And I, for me, as a Mario Kart fan in general, the tracks matter more than whatever in the game. Yeah. So for me, give me good tracks, fun tracks to grind on. I'm going to have some fun, and it's going to be just different, just a little taste different. And Capsule is fun. Just try it. It's just fun.
I'll go and say, I'll kind of spread it on the scope, beyond the scope of this whole Doctorfest thing. The thing that I've noticed is they've introduced tracks that have multiple paths. And that creates disadvantages when you think you have an advantage. Like they've buffed Pink Shy Guy Ninja so many times with the Yoshi Valley, is that what it was called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yoshi Valley, Coconut Mall, and now with the Kuba Cape R, but that's kind of a single path track. When you put in multiple pathways, his skill diminishes significantly. Because if you get a giant banana frenzy, you're not going to have as many people behind you because they might go on a different path. So that is what I've taken away from the past month and a half or so, is like, okay, these are great. Okay, we're going to put a coin boxer, but we're going to have a bunch of half pipes. It's like they're creating tracks that diminish these high skills. That's my takeaway.
So my take on that is you're right, but I think it can be a bit more dependent on where you get said item on that track. Because I know with Yoshi Valley, definitely that first section where it just goes every which way, that's horrible. You don't want to get a giant banana frenzy there, but further down when it's a more one-dimensional and you're not going every which way, if you can get one there, then it can still end up being pretty good. And then if you can just follow up with a coin frenzy or something, then you can still get a pretty solid run. But it makes it more difficult, definitely. So I definitely agree with what you're saying there.
Well, that, and like you can actually include Kuba Cape R. You get a giant banana frenzy, but if it's that thing where you're going in, on the river against the current, it's taking those giant bananas and it's pretty much getting them, they're no use.
Yeah.
So it's just like I see them doing that. I would like to see how they diminish Lucky 7.
I think that takes a little more skill. Go ahead, Frenzy.
What I'll say about Kuba Cape is it's a totally different ball game from when you play it from the stretch and then when you get rid of the badge bots. I mean, it's impossible to play when you play it right off the bat. But when you get rid of the badge bots, it's a totally different game.
Absolutely.
It's easy. It's
100%.
easy. So especially if you have gold Yoshi, it's a different game.
Yeah, but I'm using a crap cart with that.
Can't help
That
you
might
with
be
that,
your
my friend,
problem.
but-
But also, which I like the most is the action count, because you actually have a better time doing action in different ways compared to Vanilla Lake, where it's just don't even talk about it. It's too short. It's just
Yeah.
too short. But at least it's fun. That's for me.
Well, yeah, like last week, that was the other part about ranked, is that I didn't like the tracks that we had there. Other than Koopa Cape, they weren't fun. The Vanilla Lake wasn't fun. There's another Lucky 7 track that wasn't fun.
It was Toad Circuit T.
Toad Circuit T. Like I couldn't get into it, man.
I got the boombox that one.
Yeah, me too. I got the boombox there.
That
Must
would have
be
been
nice.
fun. That would have been fun. But whereas
so
like this
cool.
week is a lot of fun. Like I actually am having a blast with even using Santa Bowser and some other awesome Silver King there, and like I don't know, man. All like this week in ranked is like a lot of fun. I've actually been skipping around. Like there'll be times where I'm like doing a couple of Bowser Castle, and then jumping over to Koopa Cape, and then jumping over to Warrior Shipyard. I will say though, on Warrior Shipyard, I did I've gotten 2 different double giant banana frenzies on that track, and then I kept seeing a lot of Saddle of You, and I was like, and then I heard about the trick about like falling off. I did literally my first run with Saddle of You at level 8 and beat my score by like 1,000 points. So there is something to be said for like, even if you get it in like the perfect section, you have to have everything work out, because if you throw down your giant banana and then someone runs through kind of like the middle banana, and like then everyone's just kind of going through that path. So it's really like hit or miss. It really depends on like what's happening in the track, and getting rid of those badge bots is huge.
Yeah.
It definitely changes things too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure though. Kind of go back to the question about Doctorfest, what comes out of it. But I like the answers. The tracks are everything. That's going to be probably the one thing that we remember. We hadn't really talked about on this episode necessarily Coconut Mall, but like that goes into it too. Kind of to your point about Giant Banana. There's some sections that are awesome, and there are other sections that aren't. The good thing is that like the sections that there aren't multiple options, they're really tiny and like really really condensed areas, so that leaving those giant bananas. There's some really cool sections, but I like the diversity. I like having options. That's new. Like that, I remember thinking about like say in this tour for All Cup ranking we have the Koopa Troopa Beach like versions, and like you could go 100 different variations on that track. Like now we're starting to see a lot more of those variations in these new tracks. Absolutely love that. It does bring some skill. It does bring some strategy to the game, which I always welcome. Last question we had about the Peach versus Bowser tour comes from N2CJN. He says, we have 4 doctors so far, but there appears to be an unending supply of other doctor characters in the Mario universe. Will there be a steady supply of new doctors, or is 4 basically it for a while?
Oh, please, stop at the doctors, please. Just leave them where they are. Stop. Stop. I pulled for none of them. Just leave them. Leave them where they are. Leave them. Keep them
I
in the
think
universe.
they're
Keep them
definitely
in the
gonna be like the cats. Like we're gonna see more of them in the future,
Yeah.
and I hate to say it. The only one that I feel like would be fun to see would be Dr. Baby Wario, because he's just adorable, and we don't have the baby of him yet. And I can even see him with like a coin box or something. But even then, like no more doctors, please. Like
If you want the whales to save their money, keep bringing us the doctors. It's all
Yeah.
good.
Bring the doctors.
As long as you give like coin box special pipes, I'm all
No,
for
they
it.
won't.
All capsule.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
have
gotta give a shout out to Sergeant Spike. He showed the Bowser Jr. Meowser
that.
Jr. How cool was that? He
That
was
was-
sick.
That would
So
be
yeah,
cool.
like
Awesome.
give us the alts that we want. Don't give us Mario and Luigi cats and doctors and all this stuff. Boo! No.
I think-
Give us
I
the
think
Bowser
that
Juniors. Give us the Shy
Nintendo-
Guy.
like, if Nintendo's listening to this, they need to reach out to Sergeant Spike and see if they can sign him to a contract.
Please.
He is full of ideas, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
huge
But-
plug for Sergeant Spike.
Just,
like,
just
give
give
us-
us a
give us
Mario and
Dr.
Luigi
Cat.
break, please.
What's that, Z?
Just give us a Mario and a Luigi break. Give us some more unique characters. Come on.
So much this year. That's
100%.
incredible.
Bowser Jr., like just somebody unique. Diddy Kong. Give us
I mean,
something
you
unique.
could get some boo alls. Come on, man.
yeah.
Oh, more Daisy.
Dude.
Boo.
Yeah.
More Daisy for me.
Just
yeah,
like
more-
if you
more
give like
calm.
Cat King Boo, like how cool would that be? Yeah, no, I'm with like
Yeah.
Dr. Cat King Boo.
Dr. Cat. Oh.
King Boo.
Dr. Cat.
That would be crazy. Yeah, no, I expect there to be plenty more doctors. But one of the things I thought about is like, you know how we even kind of speculated going into this tour, that we were going to get 4 doctors total, and so we're like, all right, well, one of them's going to have a not capsule skill. I think a lot of people were thinking that, but I think the fact that they came in and they gave them all capsule skill, that guarantees that there will be more doctors, and one of those new doctors that we haven't seen yet will not have the capsule skill. And, for what it's worth, that's, I think that kind of locks in that destiny. Now, I think the point of N2CJ's question is there going to be for a while, right? So we kind of like saw waves of cats. We saw waves of penguins where we had like 2 for a while. And then, a couple months later, 6 months later, or whatever, kind of like wave 2. So like we have a cat tour coming up. Like we've already had a cat tour, like what, 2 or 3 times this season.
January.
Oh man, like how many more cat tours do we need? But
Yeah.
I guess when do you think we'll get more doctors? Are they going to give us a little bit of a break, or are they going to shove it down our throat a little bit more?
When there's another
Summer.
pandemic.
They can have more doctors. Sure.
Oh,
I would love to have added more Tanuki stuff.
COVID 22. There we go.
If they want people to stop
Don't-
spending money,
don't
yeah, keep throwing
jinx
cat
us.
tours out there.
don't jinx this here. All right, well, we mentioned Dr. Cat Mario. That's probably like literally a doctor and a cat. Let's transition to the cat tour.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got. I think we got to do that.
We
But-
have to for Tufton.
Well, I was gonna say we'll have. I actually want to do something fun here. Let's check this out. I'm gonna share a video. Can you guys see this here?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it is.
Yes. Oh.
No.
I never see that one.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
I can't hear it.
Oh, you
I do
can't
not
hear it.
hear you.
Nope.
Can you guys hear that or not?
No.
I cannot.
Very little.
Try it again.
I'm excited though.
She looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think I have all the volume
You
up.
got something on her mind, I think.
Just play it. Let's see.
I hope this transition. How about we all try to be extra quiet just in case? All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, stud and panel of Kart Talk. So, basically, I'm here to do a little pre-recorded reaction to the worst tour in the world, again, because it is absolutely the worst tour in the world, and I am not happy about it. Nintendo have once again trolled me to death. They have basically went, oh, she doesn't like Cat Peach. Oh, she doesn't like the cats at all. She calls them demon rats. She calls them this. She calls them that. She complains all the time. What should we do? Make another cat tour. And of course, just to make matters worse, they've pretty much put the track I've always wanted, and I've said I've always wanted a baby tour with Baby Park because it annoys other people and it's a very fun track. So they put it in to the tour I never wanted. As I have been saying to other people, the track I've always wanted and the tour I never wanted. Painful. And discussing earlier in the week when the tour was announced, practically yesterday, I had said a list of all the cats, of all the demon rats, that I would rank from most hated to slightly tolerable. I shall reiterate that list for you now. At the top, demon rat, Cat Peach. She's evil. No. Don't even need a reason for that. Second, Cat Rosalina. Now, she's creepy,
Oh, Draco.
and I would like anyone in the panel to agree with me on her being creepy, because she is very creepy. After that would be Cat Mario. He's new, he looks cute, he's a human in a furry suit. Does not be allowed. After that, slightly more tolerable would be Cat Luigi because he is green and they actually kind of looks pretty good. And his cat ears look like a mouse. They're a bit rounded rather than
Oh.
up.
I'm crying
It's
right
a bit
now.
weird. So he looks kind of more like a
Me
mouse
too.
with a tail. Next one would be Meowser because he looks more animalistic
I tried.
and more kind of tigerish, but he looks more like an anime character. He's a bit weird. And then finally should be
I'm so
Cat
upset I
Toad.
can't hear this.
because Cat Toad is actually quite cute. Not gonna lie.
It's the
He's got the wee
travesty.
face, just a wee round
I'm gonna
face,
have to
two
check
eyes,
on her tomorrow.
Lot of
This is an
smile,
important. This is an important
and
point.
that's
Oh,
pretty
But I
much just
can't
Cat
hear
Toad, and he looks very cute. And
I
he's
can
blue,
hear it.
and I like blue.
I can't hear a thing.
I can.
And then we don't really put in the
Nope.
cat suit
I got
because
my volume up.
I'm gonna
all
have
the
to.
way.
Give her, I'm gonna have to give her a virtual
so
hug.
that's just an honourable mention.
She's still
But,
going.
yes.
Okay.
Let's just
Just
say
let
my
her have her
reaction
moment. Oh,
was
beautiful.
I
utter
wish I could hear it. I'm
disappointment
so sorry,
when I
Puff.
woke up and checked my phone and checked the DMs and checked the servers and I cried. It was painful. And then Carlos had to do a reaction
Of
and
course,
put it up in the corner.
Of course.
Hashtag Puffton hates cat tour or Puffton hates
Loves cat
tour or something like that. Puffton tour hate. I can't remember. And then tell everyone to DM it. That was fun. That was fun.
Oh God, there's 4 minutes left.
Yeah, we have a lot more.
I didn't
Had
hear
a
any
lot
of the
games
minutes.
that day. I didn't like it.
I
It wasn't
heard
fun.
most of it.
And yes, now there's a
I don't want my
hashtag.
volume then.
Just
Hashtag
let her
Puffton
have her
tour.
piece right here.
This is my new tour.
this is therapy right now.
Well,
Not a
that's
tour
all
I
good. I
wanted
wish
to
I
be
could hear it.
associated with.
It's okay.
And yet I
We
am.
all feel
Tell me
the
what
same
happened.
way.
So,
We agree. All right,
we'll
here we
see
go.
what happens on Wednesday. For the next 2 weeks, I have no idea if Carlos has something entailed for my account in order to get
Oh, I hope not.
all these new things and new painful
No, I can't hear her.
memories. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, me neither.
It's going to be fun.
I can't hear her, but I'm
It's
gonna
gonna be
nod in
exciting.
agreement. I
Just
don't
nod,
know.
yeah.
And
I'm out. I'm
Just
tagged
not.
to
out.
top it all off,
Thumbs up.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
here she is,
Oh, there she is.
oh,
the pain
the demon rat.
of all my sorrows.
She-
Yes,
This.
that's what we're waiting for.
Demon.
Dracula's
Troy.
probably excited right now.
Yeah, Troy.
Well, since Demon Rat and I are here, I would like to ask you, the panel, a dear question. I have recently just ranked all my cats
I can't hear her now. Maybe. Oh, she dropped
in
it.
order from most hated
Ooh.
to least.
If she
Or,
puts a
well,
rope around
slightly
that doll's
tolerable.
neck, I'm out of here.
What are your thoughts, dearest panel? Who's your favourite cat? Which one do you hate the most? I want to hear your answers, because I think that would be quite fun. Stud, thank you again for allowing me to make this
We're
little
gonna have to check on her and make
impromptu
sure she's
video,
okay after
since
this.
I
I'm
couldn't
gonna
join
DM
you,
her right away.
because when you're recording, I'll be
Maybe
asleep.
do it now.
I'm gonna do it
Since
now.
you're recording
Yeah,
at
I think she's
2:30 in the
sleeping.
morning
Nowish?
for me.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
have fun, enjoy. Yeah, because I'm not happy.
My
I'm
gosh.
not happy at all. Don't like it.
I mean,
Not happy.
is car talk over yet?
Nintendo
Or
I
continues
don't
to
know.
troll me
Make sure she's
because
okay.
of buttholes. And I know Carlos
too
is
funny.
in cahoots with Nintendo, so I swear to goodness he's the one that's telling them, do it. Make the cat tour.
now I think she's just
Put
cursing.
Baby Park
Yeah, I
in
think she is
just to
too.
mess with her even more. And
Which
I
is
know
fine, I'm
Carlos
Italian.
I
will
want
watch
people
me.
just
We
to
do it
put,
right,
you know,
so-
put in
Carlos.
I know
your
that, of course,
profiles and
Studfit
your
will say,
Twitter.
welcome to the Puffton
Hashtag we
tour.
love you,
No.
Puff.
It's all good.
Hashtag this one's for Puff.
Yep.
Well, I'll paraphrase most of
Yep.
this.
Okay.
This is the reaction.
Let her have her moment.
Oh no.
Yep. This
We
is
all
where
feel
we
your
are.
pain.
Oh, this is bad.
So, from Demon Rat
Oh,
and
no.
I, we,
Okay, good. Good.
Ooh.
we say goodbye. We hope you have fun. And again, my question to you
Somebody in
panel,
that room with her.
I don't know.
choose from all 6 or
Does she
7
have any matches
evil
nearby?
characters that there are now.
There's no rope or string.
What's
I
your
huh?
don't
most
see
favourite?
anything.
I think it's a
Or your
voodoo
most
doll,
hated.
actually.
Oh no.
Please let us know why.
Enough
See
cat.
you later.
Hypno Joshi.
Oh, she's waving. She's smiling.
This
Okay.
might have been
Oh.
one episode.
Smiling. It's okay.
All right. Guys, she's obviously not happy about a cat tour, but shout out to Puffton. For those who didn't know, Puffton
I need a
absolutely loves
drink after
cats,
that one.
as
we
you can
know.
tell.
We know.
She hates cats, the demon rats, as she likes to call them. As you can see, she was holding her cat Peach there. So her question is, if you had to rank the cats from most hated to slightly tolerable, how would you rank them? You don't have to necessarily rank them like one by one, but like, is there one that you actually don't mind, or is there one that you can't stand just because of the noise they make, their animations? Let's talk about some cats, guys. First off,
I can go first.
yeah, Draco.
Please.
I was
Let's struck a
about
chord with the Rosalina, my guys.
yeah, I was at one ticket away or two to put Cat Rosa to level 8, but Puffton was like, no, don't do it, Draco. It's like, okay, that's fine. So Cat Rosa first, Cat Peach second, and the rest, delete them of the game. They don't are
These
in
though
Russian
you
language.
like. These two you
Yeah.
like.
Two of them. Oh, and Catsuit third. Catsuit third, and the rest throw it away.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
so,
just
yeah.
take-
We have the Cat Mii Suit. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, Cat Mii Suit, yeah, on the third, and the rest I don't need them.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Cat Bowser up there because he has
Yeah,
meows
that was gonna be
coin
mine.
box.
I
Like
like
you
me
can't
Bowser.
defeat that size and that coin box, and then out for like the least one, I'm gonna have to give it to Catalina because like her coverage was so
Oof.
disappointing. We thought she was gonna be like the next Black Birdo, like exclusive tracks, but she was just not.
But for
living
me,
up to what we
she's
thought.
amazing. I have like so many coverage for Mushroom Gorge, and she's rock and roll. She's actually a beast. So
She does have a big hitbox. So
Yep.
that's other than Bowser, she's got one of the biggest hitboxes of all the cats, for what it's worth. I'll give you that, Draco. But everything else, I have to admit, I'm with StanLOONA here.
I'll go on the record saying with, we had this discussion last time, is Meows are part of the cat group or not? I'm going to talk that he's not right now. So all the
Wow.
cats are trash right now. I never liked them. If I had to rank them, I think I used Cat Toad in a ranked once, so I'll have to give props to that. But a while ago, someone shared, I don't know who it was, someone shared some kind of TikTok of Peach with some music.
Oh yeah.
And that is so sexy. And
Wow.
yeah, that,
Jeez.
All
and
right.
Okay.
after watching that, if I were a smoker, I would need a cigarette after that. So I mean, that was dynamite. So
Okay.
Well,
I would say, just because I had to use Cat Toad and rank, Toad gets first, but Peach, man, you keep doing that stuff. I mean,
Meow. All right, we got it. All right, we'll transition to
sorry.
another
Please
topic
let's transition
before it gets too hot and steamy in here. No, I mean, hey man, whatever, like, do your thing, man. Do whatever brings you joy.
I'm having a lot of fun. That's all.
I mean, I think I have Toad at 7. I don't think I've ever used him. I did use Cat Peach though on, I think it was the Ghost Valley that was in ranked a couple weeks ago. I had to, and I mean, they put her in a lot of packs. They put her in some situations. I don't even know how I had her at that level. But yeah, I mean, cats are a thing now, guys, and the Super Bell is slightly underrated. I think that
it is.
they gave it a nice
After the point
for
buff,
the
yeah.
points. Yeah. Now, I can't say it's like really gonna help you like win ranked over a coin box driver, but I will say for multiplayer, it's actually really good. I used it in multiplayer a couple weeks ago, and actually it was really nice because it like rings for a long time. Like it kind of goes back and forth. It's almost like you're like in a frenzy for a little bit. Kind of knocking people around and hitting other people. So, I don't know. I'm trying to look at it, glass half full, but it's rough. It's really hard to see, to be honest with you. I
will say, I do want to say, like, as for cat items, like, I do want to put like the gray cat cruiser up there, and I want to brag about that card because that card is a beast. Like, I know we don't like cat drivers, but that cat cart, chef's kiss. Like
Really?
I triple capped it. Yeah, like I know we have a meta for cart size.
Is it because of coverage?
The coverage is just too good. Yeah.
Yeah, Anteloves has said this for a while actually, and I haven't looked at it. And now I'm like, now that you're saying this, StanLOONA, I feel like I should take a.
I know. I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, because I think the coverage actually it really pairs well with a lot of the meta carts, right? Is that what you're saying, StanLOONA?
Yeah, it does, and it also gets all like the new exclusive rank items. So it got Coconut Maw. It got like right now, what does it get? I got out like all Mushroom Gorge. Like it's just a really good card for a cat. And like I feel like everybody left it behind. Like people went for Rosalina when it came out in the pipe, but people just ignored the cart. And now we're kind of seeing how OP it is in rank.
I did not get it when I pulled for Rosalina, and I regret it.
You did not get it?
Yeah, I did not.
Jacko,
I just did go for Rosalina. I was out, and I did left in.
I'd have to. I'd be curious to see because a lot of the tracks you just named off were similar tracks that the Sakura Hop Rod got, and like and that's one of the reasons why I invested in it is because it got a lot of these obscure tracks, especially ranked version. It's been absolutely baller for me. But yeah, Antelove's been talking about this gray cat cruiser. What I'm curious now is that we kind of see this like off yellow cat cruiser and like a green cat cruiser. I really don't like. I have a really hard time getting excited about like the capsules and getting excited about the cat cruisers with so many colors. To me, it's like the Mark II, where it's just like there's too many of them, and you're like you can't invest in all of them, so you just don't want to invest in any of them. I don't know if you guys feel that way with the cat cruisers, or what's your opinion outside of StanLOONA? I mean, I'm gonna have to look at the coverage because I think coverage is king in a lot of cases. For cards,
I was just gonna say I pretty much ignore them all, honestly. Like I don't really have a need for any of them, so it's pretty indifferent for me.
Who's curious, Robert? What are some carts that are carrying you through right now? Because carts are tough because you know there's so many of them.
Oh, that's a tricky question, kind of. I know when Yellow Off-Roader came back in a pipe, I went for that. I got that, thankfully. I actually just made White Bruiser level 6.
Ooh.
I think that card, for me, it's off to a pretty good start, actually. I know the Vanilla Lake, I forget which variant, it's the one with Kamek, but I did not have a high-level cart there, and I do now, the level 6 White Bruiser, and I also am using it for ranked this week, so I would say that's a card I'm definitely keeping my eye on, as it's gotten a pretty decent start for me.
Yeah, I just took it to 7,595 myself because I was looking at All Cup ranking, and it gave me obviously that Koopa Cape T twice, but then it also helped me out on Coconut Mall regular.
Yes, same for me as well.
And so I was looking at that, I was like, man, and maybe to answer our question earlier about what comes out of this tour, maybe it's the White Bruiser, man. I've said it, I think on everything I've come out with since it's been released, I'm really bullish on it. I think if no other reason is that like I always felt like that one of a family was going to kind of take over and like be super valuable, and then I'm always super hyped out on Special Pipe, new items that just were released. So like this just seems to be like all the stars are aligning. Man, I'm with you. I like that decision. Anyone not like the White Bruiser?
I don't have it.
I took it straight to level 6. You're getting it on Coconut Malty. You're getting Donkey Kong Cup boosted at level 7 or 8 or whatever you're taking it to. He's got the White Bruiser's got the new track also, Koopa Cape. So I think this card's. I'm not a big fan of the Bruisers personally, but I went all in on it. So I think this card's going to be big. So, and
not to be a hater because I don't have it, but it's giving me like Frostwing vibes. Like it wasn't a special pipe, but like
don't say that.
It's giving me that vibe. I'm sorry. Like the White Cruiser, I see everybody investing in it left and right. And I'm just like, I think of like the Frostwing, like every people went in and it didn't turn out to be good.
I mean, I was happy that I was able to use that cart instead of that Jade Hop Rod on Coconut Tea. So just gonna throw that out.
So now, no, you bring up a good point. There's sometimes where, and you know, Nintendo can do whatever they want. And I feel like 80% of the time they follow certain trends, and then they always give us like this 20% that they just like, totally screw us over. And like, with special pipes, like for the first 2 years, like a new item comes out of special pipe, like it's always dynamite. And then like they give us like the frost wing, and then they give us like some of these obscure items. And then like you think about,
the
like,
gold the gold cat balloon glider.
Gold
the
toe
beam
beam.
balloons.
The gold toe beams, like that's another one right there.
Yeah, you know what? They have been more hit or miss this year. But one of the questions I have is like sometimes when everyone's investing in something, like Nintendo's like, all right, everyone's investing, we should probably like help everybody out. But then there's also times where they're like, everyone's investing, we should totally just screw this thing over. I do wonder, like with so many people going all out for these question mark block suits, like if everything that's in ranked, like they just totally just like kill them off, or maybe they do like give one of these items just and keep riding it out. So I do wonder if like the question mark and everyone investing in the same things, like if that's going to allow Nintendo to say, reward some of those decisions, or if they're going to say, you know what, these guys are all suckers. They all went in for 1 week and like they know this is a long-term game. Let's just screw them over.
Well, I mean, when you talk about, you bring the question mark block, you can never kill off a coin box. I mean, you can't even kill off.
Right, but I guess my point is that they know everyone's going for it. So like if people are all like, if they're like, hey, these short-sighted people that are all investing in this 1 week, let's just, totally kill off something that they all invested in. I don't think Nintendo's going to do that across the board, but I think a couple items here.
I think they did that with Dragon Wings. Dragon Wings, everyone went on Dragon Wings. It's useless now.
It is rough.
It's all about Golden Wings now.
Golden Wings is amazing.
I'm paying for that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like that meme. It's like that meme where the guy's walking with his girlfriend. He's looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, forget Dragon Wings. Golden Wings is where it's at.
Right. I mean, Dragon Wings. Everyone went on Dragon Wings, and it was great. But where is it now? So
yeah. Golden Wings is crushing it right now. That is 100% for sure.
I have not done it, and I should have.
And also, right now the meta is almost like just new track over and over. It's just you have to adapt for the new metas because the old item, they don't have the same treatment. So you have to already invest into one thing and hope you get further investment later on. So that's why it's rough for the older items.
Yeah.
Well, it really is.
But they're bringing back like these old tracks now too. So it's like, like with Shaggy Bazaar and Daisy Hills, and Cheap Lagoon's gonna come back. I'm sure, which I'm sure we're.
Please don't say that. Please.
Oh no.
Well, at least my new level 8 Peach Vacation will get some work, so that's all good.
There you go.
I cannot wait to see my coverage now.
I will say I was so disappointed that Satellaview didn't get Cheap Lagoon because it was giving me like submarine underwater vibes, but it didn't get it, and I was just like, oh, like this track really is like the worst at this point.
Yeah.
But you can't get mad about Satellaview, man. He's crushing right now.
He is.
He's so good.
He's ridiculously good. All right, so Cat Mario and Cat Luigi, right? We already know they're coming out. For those who did play 3D Mario World, we've seen Cat Mario and Luigi, like they're already in there, and like so basically everyone from that game is basically released. But we don't know necessarily what skill they have. Do you think they'll have Super Bell, or will they like when we think about these capsules and they could give Super Bell maybe to a driver that's not a cat, but I feel like they have to just give it like to only cats. And so like there's a limited number of, also they can give it to. Will they both have Super Bell? What do you think?
I think they will both. Yes.
Yeah, both Super Bell as well, I think.
Yeah.
I think Super Bell too, and I think the Super Bell skill in this baby park where you're gonna have to go around several times, it's gonna be really good. For scoring potential and hitting your enemies. So I can see Nintendo like sticking with Super Bowl for these for this specific track debut.
I can see Boomerang with Baby Park because it's very close to when you get the Frenzy, that's going to be epic. But
I'm hoping for Giant Banana, honestly.
Well, apparently we do go out of the park, so you never know.
If it's Giant Banana, I will do car talk with my shirt off next time.
Come on, you still owe us the quote. Come on.
Giant Banana. If it's Giant Banana, I will do it with my shirt off.
He's lying. He's lying.
I don't know what I'm rooting for.
Any part with Jaivana would be good. I think. It would be extremely good because it's not super wild, but you have a lot of. It's gonna be crazy good. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see that, G.
What a wager! Wow. All right. It's like nobody, literally nobody, and then here's Geeves. I will do card talk, no shirt. Amazing, love it, awesome. All right, well, will the doctors and penguins follow the leads of these cats? Like, will we continue to have more doctors, more penguins until we're like all penguin in the face, or is this going to be like, I don't know. The 3DS world was a really popular series. Maybe they just think like cats are really popular, and so you can go this direction. My thought is, what's the next overpopulated reskin family? Is it the Tanookis? Maybe the frogs?
The
like
wedding.
From the what?
The wedding, like the Bowser
wedding.
wedding and other interesting
Okay.
of that,
Right.
or Tanuki, I guess. I think Tanuki probably more into the autumn season.
There's some party time stuff too. There's party time Pauline, Toe.
There's a few builders as well.
Yeah,
Builders.
builders,
Yeah.
explorers.
The
What's
vacations.
What's the next though? Because you think about like doctors, we think about penguins. We think about some of these like the builders, even like they were in other games, like cats.
I think it would be frogs. I mean, I don't know, because like I remember Frog Mario from what he was in Super Mario 3, and I remember he was like that was like the best power up.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome. So I'm kind of surprised that they haven't done that yet.
It's coming. We're probably gonna get frogged to death.
Yeah.
So we're like literally
Frog with bubble.
Oh god.
Frog with bubble.
I wouldn't mind seeing.
If they do frog with bubble, I will take my shirt off on the next card talk.
So
I join you.
Stop with that.
Geeves, just so you want to take your shirt off.
Twice.
Dude,
Stop
I
it.
don't even want to wear a shirt, to be honest with you. Cool. All right, so we've kind of already talked about Baby Park. Who's excited about Baby Park? What do you remember about the track? And Draco, I think you're going to start us out. What do you remember about the track?
So I have always bad memory because I'm a speedrunner of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Baby Park is not fun at all. 7-track with traffics. I mean, if you're too fast, you catch the others, and you can always run into stars, bullet bills, and chaos. It's just a pure chaos, but into it could be fun. I don't know, but for me, just pure chaos.
All right. Well, we have looked forward to more chaos because it seems like we've had chaos after chaos. I mean, I honestly like Sky Garden seems like a very placid track compared to what we've been seeing here. Right, like just it seems like a lot of options, a lot of things jumping out. Who's tired of having tried to keep up with all these new assumed tracks, these circulating non-city tracks with, and then on top of that, no tickets from Daily Selects, except for Geeves, and then new skill after new skill after new skill. Like I would love to put tickets on Volendam, but she's like 4th on my list right now, only behind the other coin boxes that we have. Are you guys? So it's really hard keeping up with the meta with all these assumed tracks. How do you feel about getting so many new tracks? Like I know, Draco, you say like tracks are the most important thing, but like we're now having new track after new track after new track. Like it's hard to like take it to the next level. It's hard to raise the ante.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I actually love it because I really think they do this just for ranked, to bring everyone down to be like, and they're gonna introduce these tracks, and you're gonna have to have someone's gonna have trash loadouts, even the biggest players in the game. People know me.
You might be the biggest player.
Yeah, but like I'm using level 4, level 3 stuff. I have everything, but and then it questions me like, should I even put tickets in it just because of ranked? And I don't. But I love that challenge. I mean, I love having that kind of variety and mix. And if I end up losing, that's great. I mean, that's not great, but like that's part. It's a game. You're not going to win all the time. So I love the new tracks. Am I looking forward to this next tour? No, I'm not. I think it's going to be crappy. I think it's going to be horrible. I think the track might be good, but this is going to be a total saver. I don't even know if it's worth going in to try and get the new stuff, because it's if it's not worthwhile in investing in terms of skill, then I'm not even like, I'm getting to the point where I'm not even interested now. I used to be into this, oh, it's just for the collection, but if it's Super Bell, it's not a great skill for me. I'll pass. And
I'm gonna partially agree with Geeves because like I think we're getting new content, and we went through a drought where we were just getting RTs, filler tours, versus tours.
this
with
is
no
what
new
we were
tracks.
asking for.
Yeah, this is exactly what we were asking for, but we got it in the exchange of like level 8, no tickets, in return. But we're getting like definitely new tracks with a lot of plus skills. Like granted, these caps are probably going to be super low, but it's yeah, like is the exchange worth it? Like yeah, because new tracks are always fun.
They are. Well, not. I mean, fun in the sense that you got to learn it. You got to learn it. You got to learn the. You got to learn the lines. You got to learn where to get the action. So yeah.
For me, my counter argument to that is, as a player, for me, a new player would play for 8 months a game, having something new and like maybe like not trash loadout, and you know what I mean? It's just always keeping fresh because new players can adapt to the meta right now and invest into maybe something they can cover a couple tour, and it's always fun and fresh compared to if I always go back to the old tracks. You guys have like level 8, level 7, whatever, like good stuff, and it's not fair for us as medium-sized player cannot compete with you guys. So I think it's more fair to give a chance to everybody, and having new tracks, and that's why I said new track is way better because it's just way more fun to enjoy the game, learning something new all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you. I love having the new tracks. I mean, just because of the rank situation. Like, yeah, you're not going to be put in. Like, ranked has been in a way. There's always going to be one track where you're not going to have everything maxed out, or even not high level. I think it's good. It keeps it fresh.
I think what's probably not fair is probably the Mii Suit and the added tag to the rank. If you dish that from the rank, probably the experience would be more relaxing and more fun. But since they introduced the Mii, they want you to get this, and if you want to get this, they want you to spend something in the pipe to get probably the new item, and invest a lot, and always worry about the probably new items.
Right. Well, I mean, if we learn after, I don't know how long this game's been around, for how many years, but Nintendo will never make you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
True.
But here's the thing, like, so I think back about last year. If you remember, there was like this dead period where we had, like, they'd give us a new track, and then the only options were Cat Toad, Blackbirdo, like all of these non-skilled drivers. You saw it for like literally 4 or 5 months where you just, and then we were like, all right, so what am I doing with all these top skills? I'm not even using them. They just keep buffing. Fire Rosalina, you know the situation. Like it was like literally for
Explorer Peach.
Yeah. Explorer Peach, like you're just like, what am I
BK
doing?
Jr. before they fixed that frenzy.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you were literally scratching your head. Whereas like this tour, you think about Coconut Mall followed by Koopa Cape. So Coconut Mall, you had Shy Guy Ninja Pink, you had Luigi Vacation, you had Kangaroo Yoshi. Like you had these top skills, and then this tour you got Gold Mii Suit, you even got Voldendam, you got Egg Yoshi. You have just literally you have a lot of great top skills. So if you're investing in top skills, if you're investing in the meta, you've been very pleasantly surprised by the top shelf, which is completely new from last year. So I don't know. The downside is like there's just so many top skills and we don't have any tickets. So like that's the new conundrum, is not like, hey, I can't use my top skills because they're not on the top shelf. Now it's like there's so many top skills on the top shelf. I don't have enough tickets to put, and so you have to. The good thing is though, you can kind of pick your favorite. So if it's Voldendam, like you have that, and so for the Dracos of the world, like you're able to keep the legacy alive and be able to keep investing.
I keep playing the same over drivers, and I keep loving them. And the more I upgrade them, the more I feel like, oh my god, I can accomplish like my first 50,000 run. It was like for me, 50K for me, that was like amazing. I never had that before.
And that's, I mean, I would argue that Nintendo is succeeding in making everyone happy. you know, because people are doing this. I mean, I don't have Volendam at a high level, but I am satisfied with other investments I make. They are doing a good job of, no matter what you're investing in, they are making you feel like your investments are worthwhile. And that is the ultimate right there.
Except Mario Samurai.
Yeah, I was gonna bring. I was really gonna bring that in
Yeah,
because,
he's sitting in my basement still.
I mean, there's gonna be those outliers. So yeah,
the coolest looking one, man.
He is so cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, I mean that's. I mean, if you're a game like developer, you're trying to please everyone, no matter what level. And I will say and I don't have the evidence of it or whatever. But was hearing from Racco and other non-Whalish and like my kid is so excited with his Mii suit. He loves his Yoshi Mii suit. And yeah. So it's like they're really analyzing it, and you got to give them credit for it as much crap as they get about doing whatever. But yeah.
But I'm sure also like even Mario Samurai is maybe not good right now, but I'm pretty sure like sometime they probably like gonna keep some drivers for future tour, and then they get above the crap out of them.
I'm waiting for my origami glider that I would $7,595 right away.
The Dragon Wings took
nothing since Samurai.
I just hope that glider had the Dragon Wings took it all. See ya.
I know. Horrible.
Yeah, I made the same mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, Z, you went heavy on the origami?
Yeah, I did double cap level 6 for Bowser's Castle RT.
Yep.
The red one or the purple one?
It got me. It got me
The
through.
red one.
What?
The Sakura or the regular? Is
Oh,
that what it
the
was?
The red one.
Same one Geeves went in on. We had the same conversation, me and him.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I said
I'm with you.
Do this instead of the golden wings are good. Gold wings are gonna die off, man.
No. Golden Wings, level 8 triple caps since a long time. It's always there. Make my heart. It's so good. It's a dragon.
Let's for the
paying for that royally.
I'm with FrenZgrind. I took Origami Glider to 6, double cap 2 for Bowser RT. Like, I agree with.
Sometimes you got to take a chance.
Yep.
This is what it is.
I mean, it's a classic thing. You win some, you lose some, and it's a game.
You know,
if you just because you put money or investments into something does not mean that you're going to win.
Exactly.
And it pay dividends. So now it's triple cap level 8 for me.
Hey, you know what? You're already pot committed. You might as well just go all in, man. Keep taking it up. Eventually, that's the thing about the Samurai or about these gliders. They always will have their day. Nintendo, it does seem to like if they like. I remember Peach Happy, right? So she started out like bawling her mind off. Like had one of the best starting tracks coverage of any driver, especially Lucky 7, and then literally track after track they just started dying off. And then Saddle of You had a terrible start, and then look at him now. He's crushing it. So I do feel like Nintendo either like. They make sure that they take care and they feed their babies, and so Samurai will have his day. Now the downside is like we just have so many people, so many drivers.
I do have to publicly apologize to Geeves on air because I did tell him that the origami glider would take off eventually.
Yeah.
It did not. So,
it hasn't.
Yeah.
Hey, 2023 is not that far away.
I'm sorry.
Go pound some sand, my friend. I don't want to.
I said on the last Car Talk, just give it a little bit of a chance, and it did nothing. So, my fault.
Well, it makes me feel better. None of those 40-pack and the half anniversary did anything good. Like,
no, I'm just gonna go pound sand. It is what it is.
That was what you were instructed to do. All right. Well, Larry98 asked a really good question about GameCube Nintendo. We have this new Baby Park track, which again I'm not as familiar. I think Baby Park, like I'm already really skeptical just because of the name. But like they've been going really like hard, great tracks. I've literally loved Coconut Mall. I love Koopa Cape. Like every track that I've seen this year that I was not familiar with, I've not been let down. So I'm excited about this. He says specifically, after seeing a new GameCube Nintendo track after 70 tours, with Yoshi Circuit and Dino Jungle being really the last couple that came out. Both added in the New York tour. Do you think this could now mean more GameCube Nintendo tracks are coming? What do you think this is a thing? Specifically, he says that we kind of saw that with the Wii tracks. This year, we've already had 3 new Wii tracks. Also, 2 new 3DS tracks, all after a really long break. Do you think we'll see a lot of GameCube Nintendo tracks this year?
Definitely.
I do, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So far from the 3, one's been taken from Mario Kart 7, which is the Dino Jungle, and 2 coming from the 8 Deluxe, which is the Yoshi Circuit and Baby Park. So chances to see GameCube Nintendo from these 2 games are very high in his opinion. So here's the main question. Which of these tracks do you want to see, or are there other GameCube Nintendos you like, GameCube Nintendo tracks you'd like to see? He's suggesting Wario Stadium. But the other options are Daisy Cruiser, Dry Desert, and Sherbert Land.
That sounds good.
Daisy Cruiser.
I'm getting hungry already.
Definitely Daisy Cruiser, because into the background of Kokoda Mall in the ocean, I'm pretty sure that's the Daisy Cruiser ships. And that track is so much fun. You can go into the diners, you can go into the back of the ships, you have pools, and that track is just cute, and it's part of the Mushroom Legacy. So definitely these tracks coming. I hope so.
Especially if summer's coming up here in the Northern Hemisphere, like
that's perfect.
That would be cool.
And it's time for Rosalina swimwear to get a buff.
And Daisy swimwear actually have like a decent run so far, because she is getting buffed like I think like 4 or 5 times recently. Like every tour she's getting buffed. So yeah, okay. Daisy swimwear, but always overlaps with my other stuff. So sad.
One of the ones not listed that I want to see from the GameCube era Double Dash is DK Mountain. It's so fun. Like it has a giant cannon. You work your way up to the mountain, and then it shoots you back to the bottom. Like it's so fun. And maybe we can finally get another giant banana driver with that debut, if anything.
maybe another Kong, man. It's stuff its time. Maybe another Kong.
So I know we've brought this up like 100 times, but we have a lot of new people on this episode. I'm curious, why do we not have a new DK alt? I know we've heard speculation that there's some kind of like, I don't know, legal dispute between Nintendo and like the DK. But like, guys, we're literally getting Cat Mario and Luigi Cat. Like, why are we not getting a Luigi alt? I'd specifically like to hear from StanLOONA and Robert. Like, what do you guys think? If this is going to be like recorded in internet history, why is this happening?
Look,
help us out.
I mean, yeah, right. That's a great question. Honestly, I've wondered it myself for a while. I'm a DK fan. I want a DK alt, but I don't know why it's not happening. I mean, I wasn't even aware of the legal, stuff that you just mentioned, but I mean, it seemed like
are there DK alts in other games?
Donkey Kong 64, but I don't know if it's run by Nintendo though. I think it's run by another company.
Ricker mentioned it in a Kart Talk, I think 2 episodes, I think episode 21. I don't know all the details about that, but that was something he read somewhere on maybe Reddit or somewhere. And I don't know the facts of that, but like that's the only way I can explain this. Like I really, it blows my mind. The only other option I have in my mind is that like Nintendo has given us a couple of these like things that we are know that they are dangling and in front of us and like holding us back from, but like slowly they've been introducing it to us, and I think things like, they came out with Berlin Byways like 3, and then they hadn't come out with 2. Like they do these things every once in a while where they're like, yeah, we know that you're gonna now be intrigued, and like now you're gonna have to like wait for that track to come out, because now it's there, and that we're holding it out. So like you're gonna, I don't know. There is some part of like that where I think that they are waiting and waiting and waiting to dangle it in front of us and like to bring people back into the game later down the line. Maybe they just have like this 5-year plan. Like, you know what? Year 4, we're going to bring back DK alt. We're going to shove it down the throat. We're going to give him like 5 DK alts in like 3 tours. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. And I'm hoping that you guys, you know, being here for the first time, you guys can help us out. But
yeah, I want to hear what StanLOONA thinks now.
I think we're just in the minority echo chamber. Like, I don't think my baby cousin or like Geeves' son is thinking, oh my god, we need Cranky Kong or like we need like Candy Kong. Like we are just such big fandoms of the Nintendo characters that we know them and we want them, but like Nintendo just doesn't see them as profitable. Probably that's why.
I feel like we should give him love at some point.
It's weird.
something.
It's like there's a lot of demand, and it's got to be some kind of legal thing.
I mean, I know in the subreddit server they just ran a poll. It was just the other day when they were asking what driver that doesn't have an alt would we most like to see, and I don't remember where it was, but I'm pretty sure Donkey Kong won.
All right,
Like,
there's no
Nintendo,
doubt.
if you're watching,
it needs to happen.
it needs to happen. Make it happen.
Like, I would be tickled pink if we had a Diddy alt.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Baby
I don't.
Kong.
I'm not buying this lawsuit thing because like we have Donkey Kong in the game, like we have Dixie Kong in the game, we have Funky Kong. We like why would we have those if they couldn't legally put it in there? Like
how much
like
margin are they losing if there is some kind of dispute, right?
I like if they're like, hey, for every alt you have to give us like $1 million. All right, well, hey, you know what? If we want, you know, we want this many players to, you know, play in the game. I have no idea. I'm just not buying that part because I like if they've already created them in.
Yeah, there's money to be made with a DK alt. There, I don't doubt that for a second.
And just for that, they're gonna put the DK out in a non-spotlight special fight.
Oh,
And it would be just a changing color.
Just so
it'll
they
be
can get
like
their money worth.
It'll be a
man.
Green
cat
DK.
Donkey Kong.
Oh,
The
Cat
next
Donkey Kong.
Tanuki Rosalina.
You're giving him ideas, StanLOONA. Wow.
But you have to think of this game like from a business standpoint.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, like that's what it
I'm
is.
totally with you. It's like the Santa Bowser effect, kind of in a way.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
I
I
apologize
get
for the language, but it's absolutely asinine that we had a Bowser versus DK tour literally a year ago.
And nothing.
DK.
Yeah, really.
Nothing.
I want to
Ridiculous.
say this. That was the worst tour, and I hate that was my birthday tour. When it came out, I was so disappointed.
Hey,
no
so-
new out.
so happy birthday.
It just passed 2 weeks ago. So
2 weeks
Dr.
ago.
Fest was,
Alright.
yeah.
I mean,
Dr.
this
Fest
is
was my
a
birthday.
game
Happy
about
birthday,
making
man.
money. This is
Nice.
a game about making money, right? Off the whales. Where's your DK ult? We're in the game now, what? Almost 3 years?
Yeah. I will say this,
There.
What are we
Nintendo.
doing?
I will say this, Nintendo. My birthday is next month.
They don't care about your birthday, Jeeves. I'm sorry.
Jeeves, they don't.
Trick Tour 2023 for
Trick
G.
Tour.
Yeah.
Maybe Jungle Tour.
Vanilla
Jungle
Lake
Tour.
Tour.
Hey, old
Yeah.
four. I don't know what they're doing. It's just mind-boggling to me. I don't get it. I don't.
Oh my
Disney
gosh.
DK, where are they?
Well, while we're talking about speculation of tours, you might have seen during the Mii video, if you click on news and then you click on the little cat Mii,
Might have seen.
for like literally about 70% of the video, they talk about cats and they show the cat Mii suit. But at the very end, they show a silhouette of a Mii driver with a really tall hat. No brim, like it's like a really tall hat. So many people are thinking like a Pharaoh hat, and the hype is real, guys. The hype is going beyond crazy. Thinking about potentially a Pharaoh, Egypt, Cairo desert tour. It's the last city that we have seen in like the original cities in like the world. You see like the pyramids. Guys, are we getting an Egypt Pharaoh tour?
I would say I don't know if it's gonna be city, but I think it might be desert. It just say desert tour, and if you bring back dry ruins,
Yes, that's the trick I was thinking I wanted to have.
Ooh.
shut up and take my money. If I have
That
it.
track is such
They're already
amazing.
taking
If that
That's a
happens, then
great
your
track.
second kid isn't going to college either.
Yeah.
No one is
Take
going
my
to
shirt
college.
off if that happens.
Just call it.
Everybody is going to be a plumber.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So guys, so city, non-city, what do you guys think?
Non-city.
Non-city. Yeah.
Non-city.
Desert.
Yeah,
desert
I'll lean
tour.
towards non-city.
I
So there's a
think
dry desert and a dry ruins. Is that what you're
So
saying?
I tried Rune, yes.
Desert Ruins. That was such a great track.
Yes.
Such a great track.
And I think it's fit all as well probably with the tour because you can go into like half pipes and you can go
Yeah.
into the side and you have some pitters who can do the jumps. So I think that will fit perfectly with tour.
Preach. Yes.
I like the speculation that Mii might be like a royal guard, but it could be like that Pharaoh head thing. So like in my head, like it points to a city tour, whether it's a new track with like Egypt or like London revisit. Like I think it's leaning more towards that for me than like another desert place. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of following a similar pattern to having a city. It's been a while since we've had a city, so I can see it, other than Amsterdam. We had Singapore, and that's, I mean, other than that, they'd be going bang 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 with these retro tracks. So I could see it certainly being a city. Now here's the thing: is like I do think there's more to this. I do think this is coming up next tour, because we saw the cat suit like early last tour, and then here we are, cat tour like 2 tours later. So yeah, I could see 2 tours from now being whatever this is. I will say, me personally, I like growing up, I loved Egypt. I literally had like 5 or 6 books that I owned about King Tut. Like I was just like hieroglyphics, pyramids, like mystery. Like I absolutely was obsessed with it. To me, to this day, like if someone wants to sit down next to a guy who was from Egypt at this conference like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I picked his brain, like so he gave me like Nile tour like reviews and like where to go. Like I love Egypt. So this is amazing to me. I would absolutely love it. But I'm also like trying to temper my expectations. Like I know that Nintendo is going to just like, this would be the perfect troll. Like if you think about it, like this would be like the perfect troll. Like, hey, look, here's a cat suit. Now we have a cat tour. Remember, what's that one tour you guys always wanted? Pharaoh tour, and then I bet you they come out. It's like Abe Lincoln tour or something.
It's a pipe. It's a pipe one.
A pipe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Waluigi Vampire Tour.
Hey, no, I wouldn't mind that.
I know.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong, guys. Is there any other type of tour they could be other than some type of Pharaoh tour?
No, I don't. I
don't see what else it could be. It's definitely not a pipe, I don't think.
I'm gonna go with my heart, and I'm hoping it's Cairo because I've been waiting for this tour since the game launched. But I got to go with a good friend of mine who made a good point. We got Waluigi Bus Driver as a pack randomly this tour, so there's a good shot you might see London, and you might see the London Mii driver with the hat. So, I think it can go either way.
And we know what we had, the Detective Rosalina, Baby Detective Rosalina pack last year.
That's true.
So there is that. What I'm curious about is like the Mii suits, right? So so far we had a lot of like drivers, like the DK suit, Rosalina suit, right? And then we had gold, silver, bronze, and then all of a sudden we had a coin box, which is like a skill. It's not like a driver, but like we've never had like a city theme,
like an alt
Mii suit,
or like an alt Mii suit.
Yeah,
as the cat.
So like, could this be a skill? Could it be like lucky 7 at an angle? Like how like there's the 7, but if you turn that 7 to the side, you would just see like a line. I don't know. I literally don't know, dude. Right? Because the 7, then you turn it.
Yeah.
That'd be such an interesting like hat or whatever. Like,
or it's a pipe shooting greens.
I almost want to say, if it is not like a desert theme or whatever, or Egypt theme.
Are you gonna take your shirt off on Kart Talk? Let me guess.
Yeah.
Might as well just take it off now and just finish off the.
No. I want to.
I'm sure it's gonna be there.
We know we're gonna hold you to that.
Because
right,
I think
yeah. Shy Guy Card asks, Nintendo
Wife was
teased.
looking at me and she's like,
Oh no. She heard take your shirt off. She's like, please, Lord God,
yeah,
no.
she's like, please, Lord.
Shy Guy Cart asks, Nintendo teased a new Mii Suit after the Cat Tour. What do you think of this? Some popular predictions are an Egyptian Mii Suit, Pipehead Mii Suit, and Royal Guard Mii Suit. So just between those three options, you had to vote on one. Let's go with A, Egyptian Mii Suit.
It's so hard.
I don't know.
Too late. B.
I don't want to say no, but I don't want to say yes either.
Pipehead Mii Suit, Royal Guard Mii Suit. Okay, all right. Other.
Those two want my shirt off
I don't know.
right now.
I mean, the internet wants a shirt
from
off.
3 days ago. That's what we want.
I think we have time for maybe one or two more questions. B-Rad Geo, which he was on episode 2 of our inventory inspection episode.
Action count champion, right?
Yeah, dude, he's won just about everything. He won March Madness. He won Mario Party. He's won this Action Count King this past week. He's been crushing it.
Shout out to that guy.
He's a winner. He's a hashtag winner. He's actually a really cool dude too. What items did you take to level 8 that paid off for you immediately?
So I took Red Bee Dasher to level 8 immediately because I needed it on it's Rainbow Road, RMX Rainbow Road, the one with Santa Bowser. I did not have a good cart there. So Red Bee Dasher was a really solid buff there for me at level 8, and it's actually come in handy for me, you know, kind of just around these tours when they come around.
Is that a daily select?
It might be. It might be. I don't know if it's in the new ones or not, but it's been around long enough, and it's a regular, so it very well could be. But it's a decent cart still, you know, for as old as it is.
Yeah. I mean, if it's daily select, like that's a great choice. You know, to max out so that you can start getting high end tickets. I do know a lot of people really like that. I think the Bama Gerbs shows that one as a pretty popular one up until I think this year. I haven't heard a lot of people hyping up about it, but for a while. But I remember when the cap tickets were starting to hit, like everyone was starting to double cap things. That Red Bee Dasher was like on point. It was really, really clutch.
I know it's top shelf on 3DS Rainbow Road N, so if people are going for, you know, that big record, you know, like Crazy did, it's an option there that people can use.
Yeah, a really good point. Other guys, what do you think? Level 8, one thing that's been helping you crush it?
I did go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, quick. For me, it's Pickle Peach because she's crushing it so much for me. I love her. And Golden Wings, crushing it. Yellow Frutters, and my new favorite, Edbit Mushrooms. All those items are incredible and paying off so much on a lot of my
gave
coverage.
you that Rosalina's Ice World, right?
Yeah, I'm crushing it.
I made PGP level 8 as well. She's handy. Very
Yeah.
much.
I think I used it like, I don't know if it was last week, but I think I used it like 6 to 9 times last week. That was crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean she's super strong, and she has her own cup, which always is helpful too, because you get that cup boost. I ended up pulling on that Peach Pipe and got her to level 8. I think she was also in a pack a couple times since level 8 too. So, the thing is, I'm always scared like pulling on 100 Pipe and like worried about getting her again. So there's always that fear versus like, Peach Vacation. I'll never worry about that necessarily and stuff like that. But ultimately, PGP is still like probably the queen of Mario Kart Tour. Like when we look back 10 years from now and we think back about Mario Kart Tour, like PGP will be one of the characters we remember because she's just so vital to this game for sure. Other items stick to level 8 that you've been banking on?
She's going to be one that everyone's going to get the 8. That's the thing. That's why they got to take care of her. I mean, for me personally, the ones that I took the 8, I'll go Driver, Kart, Glider. The ones that's done the most for me is a tie between King Bama Gold and Meowser. The cart that's done the best for me is Silver King. The glider is that I took the 8 right away was Black Great Sale. Those still, even though I don't know if they're bunched around recently, but with their coverage, best in the game.
There's a lot of tracks, so can I go wrong with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have Silver Star Shoot level 8 as well.
I love that. Love Silver Star Suit.
I think I took that at 8 too, but I would argue that Black Great Sale is a little bit better.
You could make that argument, but they both kind of have their niches, I feel like.
I mean, if you have both at 8, I mean, if you're going in sequential order on what to take to 8, those two are the top.
I 100% agree. Here's the thing: is like everyone's account's a little very different.
Yeah.
But like when we sometimes we hear 8-bit Bowl of Bill and like it's got overlap with the Black Great Sale and this others and this thing and this thing. It's like the Silver Star Shoot has its own independent value.
Yes, it does.
So does Strawberry Donut. So does Black Great Sale. Like these are some of the best gliders in the game. And if you take
does the Flying Easel. I'm just going to say that right there. I don't have it at 8, but I'm thinking about it.
Who are you?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even think I've thought about that glider in like.
Yeah, neither have I.
Is that a good glider for you?
I took it to 7 double capped right away just because I like the look of it.
It does look cool.
It's one of those things, but like it's an argument of whatever you take the 7.595 is going to do best for your account. But I will say it is valuable in this current tour right now. I'm still wishing I had that at 8 right now, and I can't do it, but I wish I did.
So to me, when I think about things I take to level 8 that I am so happy I did, it's like when I take something to 8 and I'm scrolling to the right and I don't see anything even at like 7. Like I see stuff at like 5 and 6, and I'm like, this is the one. Like this, if I did not have this, I would be struggling on this. And for me, that the Silver Star Shoot's up there.
Right.
Black Great Sale is like really good, and it's got like really like wide coverage, and it, like you're always using it. But like for me, like Strawberry Donut and Silver Star Shoot are like the top 2. Where like if I did not have this, I'd be screwed.
Yeah. I took Flying Easel way up just because I felt that it was not going to be available in the future, and it hasn't.
We haven't seen a special pipe.
No, and that's the legit reason why. I don't know when it's going to be. Though I think the only time it's going to be available next is when there's another Paris tour. So that's why I did it. I mean, it's got a lot of city tracks, so there's a caveat to that. So
yeah, I did a wild card. I only have one level 8 card, and I did a dark hop rod, and it's one of those cards that just randomly comes in on ranked, and it takes you by surprise every time. Like in getting Yoshi Valley, the normal version.
Yeah.
When I saw that at level 8, I was like, oh my god! With the coin box, I was like, rank was mine, and I won. And then it was recently in Remix Ghost Valley RT with Cat Peach or whatever, and it was like it took me by surprise again. So it's like, to me, it's like a wild card that it just surprises me here and there, but not many people probably took that to level 8.
You know what though, it does. I was a huge fan of it, and I took it up to I think 6 or something, and then I got it up to level 7 with the pipe that it came in. But like I always had, that has a dear spot, and you know what's funny is like I know there are so many people that is like their favorite cart as well. I know Frenzy Fans Gal, that's her favorite cart. I think she only has like one level 7 cart, and like that's her cart. And I
You traded your friendship for the Sakura one.
You know what? Here's the thing: is I absolutely love the hop rod. Like all of them, the way that they look, it's so cool. The Sakura hop rod. That's the answer to my question. Is like what my favorite thing that I took to level 8 was the Sakura hop rod, mainly because it was a non-spotlight in a special pipe, brand new. So to me, it's like this is like Nintendo's like secret special like hot item that's guaranteed lock hot. And so unless it comes back in a pipe or a pack, it is going to be the hottest thing since sliced bread. Literally tour after tour until that happens. Once that happens, then it's dead. So I'm going to just like enjoy it and it's been in a ranked track on a brand new track every single tour since it's been released. So I've been absolutely loving it. Now the dark hot rod still is like I think slightly cool looking, but the hot rods are all awesome.
I have no comment.
Geeves, I see you laughing. I want to know
What part do you not like about that, man?
Are you
That was real talk
hot rod
right there.
hater?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you a
That was
hot
real
rod
talk.
hater?
I'm just gonna give you your moment, and then I'm no comment.
That's the same thing.
Sakura is a
That's
very
the same
big
love I
fan.
have.
Draco, what do you think?
I just said that I have the same love as you when the golden wind. It was not a non-spotlight. You got it, and now it's just rising, shining. And every time I see it, it's like, oh my god, it's in rank, and oh my god, it's buff again. It's always the same joy I have every time I see this beautiful glider.
I keep looking in to make sure Geeves is still laughing, and he is.
He's rolling his eyes so hard they might fall out of his eye sockets. FrenZgrind, what item did you take to level 8 that's been absolutely baller for you?
We talking this tour or in general?
No, in general, like since level 8's come out, you took something to level 8 and you feel so good about it.
Well, in general, and especially in this tour, the Aurora balloons has been my baby.
Ooh.
Triple
Okay.
cap level 8. This thing's been a monster. I love the way it looks. It's just carrying me.
Now this is the bluish one, right? Not the sunset.
The beautiful blue one, the blue and white one.
Okay.
With the mushroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will agree.
The
That's a
brother or the
nice,
sister or the
that's a nice
sunset
glider.
balloons, whatever you want to call it. The white blue one, not the red white one.
It looks really cool. So it's doing a lot for you though.
It's a monster. Just look at its coverage this tour. It's giving me at least 5 or 6 tracks in ACR. So, yeah, it's paying dividends for me. I went all out on it when it first came out. Took a shot. I loved the way it looked, and I went all in.
That's
So,
cool.
I mean, that glider is giving me like I wish I would have invested in 5s.
it looks amazing, and it's just crushing it.
I mean, not just the looks. I mean,
It's got to be in the top 10, if not this tour, the next tour. But
I want the matching cart already too. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, never knew I'd be wishing for an alt card, but like that's an awesome one to have. Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, Robert, I'll let you answer the question real quick. I don't know if we heard from you yet on that one. Did you?
Oh yeah, level 8. I went in with the red B dasher, but I also
That's right.
mentioned silver
Oh,
star
yeah.
suit and then pink old peach as well.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, man, I think level 8's going to shake out very unique as the year goes on, just because it takes so many tickets to get something to level 8. I know that there's been struggles at times, but it's starting to get a little more fun. I think I've started to max some categories for daily selects, and it's fun to get some high ends. I'm like there's a couple times where I'm using Vacation Peach, which I have at level 8, 1190, versus Gold Cooper Free Running level 7, 1400, and I'm like, man, this is tough. And it's a good problem to have, no doubt, whale problem. But I'm still going with the Gold Koopa at 1400. I know that the base points are better than even level 8. That's what I've been advised, and I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe you guys can tell if I'm wrong. But like, we're starting to have some fun, right? We're starting to when we get, I'm starting to believe this. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm starting to believe there will be a 4th uncapping.
That's what I think too.
And when that hits, man, that's gonna be the chaotic storm.
Wow.
What do you think, Robert? Am I wrong?
No, I've never thought about it, but I mean, you bring it up and it doesn't sound too crazy to me. So they could.
I mean, that's gonna be like I'm. Oh man, I keep going back and forth on this, but I do think level 8 is the max. I think that's the way that they have that shine, that shimmer going across. Like I do think that like that is going to be the cap of the level, but I don't think the cap. When I say cap of level, that's a poor choice of words. That is going to be the highest level of cart glider. But I do think that the cap tickets could there's no cap to the cap.
Right. Yeah. No, I
If
agree.
they're going to port cap, like quadruple cap, make it a thing, I feel like they should bring along a new way to get uncapped tickets, because ranked is just gonna take forever to gain as many to quadruple cap something. Like they have to introduce like maybe that special blue pipe or whatever.
Think about it this way though: today's challenge pipe and also the token challenge pipe, the odds of getting a cap ticket is higher than a level ticket.
Yeah, I think I got five cap tickets this tour out of my token pipes. I had a good run this tour.
Wow, that's good. Because remember, the odds for the token pipe, as an example, is 9%, whereas like the level tickets are much lower. I think it's something like 1 or 2%. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, like that just seems like they're kind of like giving us a lot of tickets, and a lot of us are just using them, right? So like, hey, I need a triple cap driver, you know, and so when they release it, and then you have to take something instead of 10, like 15 or maybe 20 tickets to take something to quad cap. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, and no one's ready for that.
Yeah, but I think that would balance out the Mii, which is gonna be super powerful for a bit. Then after that, the driver is gonna probably like equal or slightly take over.
And then
I mean, if you can quad cap a Mii as well, then yeah, it's
oh yeah, for sure. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
All right, guys.
I think it's fair to say that this game is in good hands for a while. I think it's just pretty much fair to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, it's funny. We had, you know, the DX come in, and that was a nice wave, and then they coming out with these retro tracks, and you know, it's I always love hearing from new players in the game. So if you are watching this right now and you are a new player, let us know in the comments. So, like new player, like in the last 3 or 4 months, because like that's where my heart is. Like there's like when I think about like new content, when I think about like how I could reach the community, it's like literally thinking about you guys, like because that is like a lot of us guys have played around for a long time. Like you know we you know most of the meta they try to they try to juke us a little bit, but ultimately they kind of stick to the same thing. So I always try to like reiterate, like, what does this mean? Like explain, the maxing out daily selects, etc. So, all that to be said, this translates to the final moment of, we've been together now for about 2 hours here. Can you believe it? It's time has flown.
Yeah.
So what we typically do is at the end of our cart talk is just make one recommendation to new players who might be in that 3 to 4 month new window. What recommendation would you have for them? It's kind of how we've been ending it. We've already kind of transitioned through that. I know some of us have, we've kind of been on here for a while, like Geeves and FrenZgrind, who probably have some recommendations. But Draco, well, how about we start with you, man? What recommendation would you have to a new player that just started in the last 3, 4, 5 months?
2 things. Keep your ruby and never spend it for just no reason, and always try to obtain the item you want. And 2, having fun, because you have so many drivers and you can have your own favorite skills or non-meta and just share us until the end and just have fun in the game. That's, I think, the best advice I would give.
Well said, man. Well said. FrenZgrind, why don't you give some advice to a newer player?
Well, I'll give you something I dealt with the past week. My wife had COVID and my daughter had the flu at the same exact time.
Oh man.
Sorry.
And I told a bunch of you guys about it because we've spoke. And it's very, very difficult to play mom. Very, very difficult. I'm not used to that. I'm dad. I just kind of sit on the couch, watch TV. I do my thing while mom does cooking, cleaning, and like most dads. So I had to take my daughter to the doctor. I had to cook dinner. While my wife was secluded. So it was very, very difficult. So what I would say to most people in this game is just give yourself a break. I lost top 100 last tour because I just didn't have the time. I don't know. And I'm not somebody who goes how many in a row. Whatever, it is what it is. I don't care. I just happen to get it because I get it. But last tour, I just couldn't do it. My wife was sick. My daughter was sick. I had to do everything around the house. So just give yourself a break. If you just can't do it, if you just don't have the time, just take a break. It's okay. Move on with your life. Do your thing. It's a game.
Can we just say that you finished 102nd though?
Yeah, well, I was just about to tell you I'm a failure, so that was my next move.
Wow, way to kick a guy while he's down, Geeves, man.
Oh my god.
No, that is a solid suggestion. Is just prioritize,
I'm
find your
very ashamed
priority.
of myself that I had top 1,000 last tour, and Jeeves makes me feel very good about myself every single day since, so it's all good. My
I mean,
daughter's
that is
happy,
what he's good
I'm
at.
better, my wife's better, whatever. I'm back on the grind this tour, so just relax, take a break. Who cares? It's
Yeah.
a top whatever.
I mean, it's the perfect frenzy fan girl. It's like no one's gonna
Yep.
care.
No one
Yeah,
can.
these
No
days, I
one
even know
cares.
I got a top 100
That
badge
is
on the tour or
that is
top
the
1,000.
golden rule.
Except
I
for
mean, I'll go on and say with my recommendation is, if you're if you're starting for game strategy, I would focus on the special pipes. I think Studfit mentioned that. I think they are the most at that time they are the most beneficial, just because of the odds, and they usually put stuff that's actually useful in there, for like level ups or whatever. But so that would be one. I think the good thing is, yeah, just have fun. Don't just understand that it's a game and you're not going to win all the time. I mean, my son, he actually lost in ranked, and he was really upset about it. I'm like, dude, I told him, I was like, dude, I finished 6th. It happens. You don't, it's all, sometimes you don't get dealt the cards that you want, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. So it's a good experience to be in that position. So that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Oh, yeah,
Robert.
go. Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say, as a new player, just try and be as patient as you can with the game. I had this guy DMing me on Discord a few weeks ago, and he was upset, because he was new, and he wasn't getting 5 stars on every track, and he didn't have a lot of high ends, and he was just like, oh, I want to unlock everything. And I was telling him, that this is a really grinded out type of game. It's going to take time. Just kind of focus on expanding your inventory, where it helps you, and then just as time goes on, comprehensively, your account will just get better.
100% agree.
That's solid advice. And I mentioned this, I think actually last episode, is just like pick the handful of items that you love. Like, you can't love everything, right? But like the couple items that you love, that's okay. Take, like, if you love the flying easel as an example, take it to level 7, take it to level 8. Let that be your pillar, and then just build around it using the meta strategies, using the different spreadsheets you have. And so that's kind of aligned to that. I think ultimately, there's so many players that I hear that they kind of get thrown off with ranked, and we kind of even brought it up tonight. Like I gotta win ranked, so I'm gonna invest in. I did it with like the party wing, and like now I never use the party wing, but I dropped like 3 tickets on it, like for 1 ranked a long time ago. So like there are different things. Just never be in a panic, and that's really kind of what your point is like, be patient, invest in what you need to for the long term, and don't get too swayed by ranked. I absolutely love that piece too. And then I think Geeves, you bring up a good point too, and just like ultimately this game, like, it is a grind. It is not for the faint of heart, but at the end of the day, like, accepting defeat is tough, but it's all about how you get up. Like, it's like, we're all gonna fall off that horse. I lost ranked, like that. I don't have this question mark block, but it's about how I bounce back. And so for me, like, I'm at like 67, I think 167,000 for ranked or whatever it is. But I see Carlos at 170, and I'm like, I gotta be Carlos, man. Like, this is my time. Like, I'm a 20K lead on ranked, but I'm like, it doesn't matter. I gotta beat Anselev, gotta beat Octavia, gotta beat Carlos. I gotta beat some of my friends that are kicking my butt. So yeah, man, I think that's what's keeping me excited. Like, I have a lot of all-cup rankings to still do.
It's a pure thing of like, it's not how you get knocked down, it's how you get back up. I was DMing Gamer Amy, and I was telling her, oh, I'm gonna lose or whatever, and she's like, well, what is it? And I was telling her, oh, it's just life stuff. I mean, yeah, I could do it. So, oh, I'm sorry. I said, oh, it's okay. I'll get it next week. So we'll see.
Just quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Just for me, like I said, I'm forcing myself to play with only 3 drivers. I have never lose a ranking ever, and now I'm starting I think for the two first time I have D rank for the first 2 time, and that was brutal for me. But I'm like, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Like I have a rank where I have middle shelf, but I have top shelf. I can use top shelf, but just because I want to stick with my roots, I'm gonna use bottom shelf, mid shelf. I don't mind. If I D rank, it's okay, but at least I'm gonna learn something. I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah, people are going to be more interested to see how you respond to defeat, and I don't think a lot of people notice that.
Yep.
Yeah, and honestly, when you get burnt out trying to keep up with everybody, like that's gonna bring you probably more joy.
Yeah.
StanLOONA.
For new players, I would probably tell them like one word of advice is like just find a community like to hang around with to help you like guide you throughout this game. Like I know there's like Discord, there's like the Reddit, there's Studfit's YouTube channel. Find a sense of community, and like this community will be like a great way to like spend the game even better and make it more fun. You'll get pointers, you'll like have great like conversations, you'll get advice. Like just find a sense of community. It'll make the game more fun for you, and definitely not as stressful as you probably might think it is.
No. Yeah,
that's really cool. I mean, thing is, like, you have to surround yourself around the right community, right? Because there are people that will try to drag you down, and like, anytime I see someone like post a good run, like I look at their loadouts, I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, I heard someone today, they're like, oh, you know, got this action count, which is a great action count, but they got second. I'm like, part of me wants to like say, you know, pat them on the back. Part of me wants to be like, hey, you got this. Like you already got that action count. You have that in you. Like, let's go. And you know, like I think that's a hard part in like in a community is like balancing between like rooting somebody on and like making them, you know, and like what kind of motivation is going to cause them. And you have to surround yourself around the right community, because someone's gonna say like, oh, dude, you know, you only got this, like I got this, and like those are not the right people. Like, leave that community, go somewhere else. But that's why, like, you know, my response was like, hey, that's awesome. Are you gonna go back in? Like, because I'm curious. Like now, like that's a good run. But like, you know, you could still, if you got first, you know, it's a big deal too. So like, surround yourselves around the right positive people, and you'll find more you'll find more joy from that than probably anything else. Because like, that's why we play the game, right? We're all people on this earth, and you know, some of us, especially during the pandemic, needed some support, needed some people to be around us. So like that doesn't go away. Like we still are humans. We still have a need for community. And honestly, like for a lot of gamers, like this is the only community we have, right? You know, there's so much going on, so many people in this world beating us down. Like, you got to go to a place that loves you, man. So I agree 100%, StanLOONA. Appreciate that. Love having you in ER as well. So thanks, guys. Well, hey guys, again, like we're well over 2 hours. This was such a fun episode. Like I said, I don't know if that's from some of the sips I've had, but I have absolutely had a ball hanging out with you guys. It's been an absolute blast. So thank you guys all for joining, and thank you guys all for the advice to new players. Would love to just kind of go around the horn. Again, it's kind of a little different, but around the horn, just say goodbye to your fans maybe at home that got to know you a little bit over the last couple hours. We'll start with you, Robert.
Yeah, I had a great time here. It was great to meet some of you. Great conversation. As I've said, if I'm pretty active on Discord, mainly in the subreddit server, but in a couple others as well. So you'll probably see me around, definitely in Carlos's streams. So yeah, just thanks for having me on.
FrenZgrind.
Yeah, I don't really think I have fans. I think my daughter.
You're gonna. Hey, by the way, this is your second episode as a super stud. We're gonna get a lot more of you. So you're gonna get like a whole fan. Like you're gonna have to get like a new PO box or something to get all your fan mail. It's coming, man. Especially in the dungeon you have there. Like, people are gonna love you, man.
It's the dungeon, man. It's my daughter's the only one who looks forward to all this. My wife is second in my first episode, so I'm like, hey, listen, you want to watch? You want to look at this part? I was talking about you. She's like, I don't give a crap.
Well, hey, why don't you give a shout out to your daughter then?
But yeah, she's asleep. Thank you. I already did this part. She goes to bed at 9. Thank you. And she'll watch tomorrow again for 3 minutes, and then she'll walk away and play her games. But listen, I have a blast doing this. Thank you, Studfit, for everything you do for this community. It's how you juggle 2 kids, a family, and traveling and doing all this is, I don't even have a clue how you do it. But thank you. You know, this is a great community. We all just, we got so many great contacts and great friends, and we're all tight knit. It's just such a great thing. And a lot of it has to do with you. So you give yourself credit. You know, you're a great friend to me, and Geeves and a lot of other guys I've been in contact with, you know, on voice chat and everything else. So we got a lot of new blood in ER, StanLOONA, you know, everybody else that's in there. So it's amazing. So give yourselves a lot of credit. You guys are great players, and only the best to come moving forward. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to being on again. And you guys are all awesome. So best I could say.
Man, I appreciate you saying that. You know, I think someone invited me to a server today, and I was like, "Yeah, I need to be in another server. Like, I need a hole in the head. Like, I am all servered out because I feel like I don't give enough to all the different communities. I mean, like including the one that I'm in. But I always pop in there and always leave a comment every time I have a bathroom break or something like that. So, you know, if I haven't said, you know, appreciation for everyone in the different communities I'm in.
Well, first of all, you have nothing to apologize for, because you do so much for this community. I don't know how you do it all. So
I appreciate it, man.
You do plenty. So please don't ever apologize, because all the different things you do for this community is insane. So please.
I appreciate it, man. You're gonna make me cry. All right, StanLOONA, you gotta.
You want to cry? Let's all cry. Let's finish the episode by crying.
StanLOONA, what would you like to say to your fans, man?
Yeah, so just shout out to everybody for sticking through. We had a lot of fun doing this podcast. If you just want to chat aesthetics, about coverage, about like what to invest in, like you have a friend in me, so you can find me on the Discord of the Mario Kart. And then make sure you are also listening to my favorite K-pop group, LOONA.
Ooh, okay.
That's where like my name comes from.
Nice. And if you're in Texas, you got two friends there between StanLOONA and Robert. Jeeves, awesome. You already have your own fan base.
I don't
maybe you
know.
have some advice for FrenZgrind.
Yeah, I mean, FrenZgrind. I mean, I'm gonna say a lot from you, man. I mean, you're one of my homies. Yeah, you know that. I'm also gonna say I have to pee really bad, but no, I love these. This is therapy for me in a way, because I love the game so much, but I love the community too. So it's written proof that you need to surround yourself with just the people. You're in a circle, your group, and all of you are part of that. I'm really honored to meet Draco and Robert here. It's awesome just to see what you guys are doing. But yeah, it's and I'll probably be back. And I'm sorry if you don't like it, but I also want to give a shout out to Puff. I mean,
okay, yeah.
Puff was Puff was Puff, and she does so. The funny thing with Puff is she's so much behind the scenes, and I think a lot of people need to understand how much she does to this community. So I really hope people let her know that she is, even though she doesn't play the game much, she does so much for the community, and she's so beneficial to the community. So thank you, Puff. We love you. So
yeah. Can I just say something real quick on that? My sons were watching a bunch of garbage on YouTube, and so I decided that I was going to create their own YouTube channel and of just them playing video games and stuff. And so I created that, and she's like, "Hey, can I make some thumbnails for them?" And I was like, "Absolutely, you can. Like that would make it like they would be tickled pink." And so she did that and did some other things to make like their channel look a little bit more like cool. And like my sons absolutely love that. So that was something she proactively did. And then she's been doing my thumbnails. And then she has access to some of the YouTube stuff. So she went in and did like the timestamps of some of my videos, which I absolutely hate doing. And so she just did that without even asking. So like it's like that type of like next level initiative that it's what we love about Puff. And so
much, you really gotta appreciate the people behind the scenes. And I don't know of anyone that's more behind the scenes than Puff. So
if you've ever watched one of my videos and you skip to a timestamp, leave a comment, because that was thanks to Puff. So just huge shout out to Puff.
So respect the Puff. I mean, I can't, there's not words for what she does in this community. So that's all I have to say.
And in the past, I've had trouble upgrading with my computer and things like that. And Puff was instantly emailing me, just trying to walk me through it. So shout out to her.
I think Nintendo knows how powerful she is. So that's why they're coming out with this cat tour. Just to show her how much they love her. Draco.
Yeah. For me, if somebody is fan of me, I'm doing Mushroom Legacy as always. If you want to see my journey rising more and more into the competitive scene and trying to face off this Studfit and Geeves and other crazy scoring people, which I want to be as well. Mushroom Legacy with 3 drivers, Rosanna, Peach, and Daisy. We already hit 1 million. I'm trying to work my way to my first badge of ACR. Maybe I have less than a year. So if you want to see that journey, follow me in. And also I want to mention about shout out to Larry's and Puffton and Studfit, because Puffton helped me so much recently. Discord, she helped me so much. I'm talking with her almost every day. Positivity, we are laughing at each other. She making terrible gift, but whatever's. I love the Cat Peach, Cat Peach and Cat Rosa. But Larry also it do so many things for us.
Yeah.
You shout outs to them and Studfit. I mean, everything, I own you everything. So my friend, thank you so much for what you do for me. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah. The thing is, I have a lot of people that do content creating on YouTube for Mario Kart Tour, and I'm rooting for them all. But when you have good people, like good genuine people that you absolutely know are like made of gold, and like their heart is pure, and like they are truly doing this out of passion. Like there's only a handful, and one of those is Draco. So I knew once I saw your first video, I was absolutely in love, and just wanted to bring you my wings. So I'm so happy to have you on our channel. So happy that you've found success, and I look forward to seeing what that goes forward. So
thank you. I want to cry now.
You can join me. I got some tissues here. All right, guys, we gotta wrap this up, because eventually we're gonna get like 4 hours long. We're like, what's going on? But thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you guys all at home for watching this long but fun conversation. And until next time, guys, may the frenzy luck be with you. Thanks, guys.
All right, see ya.
See ya,
guys.